Hello. 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 It is Sunday. We are back. We are here. We were not here yesterday because of stuff and things. But we are here now, today. I hope everybody's been having what is now a wonderful afternoon. I chose to start a little bit late because I kind of wanted to shoot my shot somewhere else for a quick change, and had a lot of fun with that. But we are here now. Hello, Tomato. How are we doing? I woke up actually pretty early, and honestly, I could have started a lot earlier, but again, I wanted to do something else really quickly. Also, just to make sure, hi, Tenny. Hi, freaking Nox. And again, hi, Tomato. Hello and good afternoon. We're gonna probably be having a short stream today because I don't want to say unfortunately, I'm actually looking forward to it. We're first off, one moment. I just remembered I have to do something with V-Bridger. Let me there we go. Hemkim, I'm gonna be only having a shorter stream than normal. I just see a Lynn has entered. Hello. Hemkin, though this will probably be a shorter stream, probably maybe 3 to 4 hours, because I will be heading out to have Thanksgiving with some of Jester's family, because it is Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. But I did, at least because we were starting a new game today, I wanted to get that going. So just for those who don't know, today we're starting .hackgu. I have never gotten a chance to play these games. They are essentially an RPG. I don't know how they play I don't know how they play specifically, but they're very voice actor heavy. So we're about to hear a lot of old voice acting, and I'm gonna really be like, yo, how many of these voices can I recognize?
Is there where the passions hides its feelings?
I don't know. I was actually kind of wondering if I knew the people who knew .hack are gonna get the reference. I was wondering if anybody else will. But... We're not gonna dilly-dally too much on things though, because it is a lot later than I usually like to start stream. So we're just gonna get right down to business. Let's get this hepkin going. I already like that it mutes itself when I'm not on it, because I hate having to like mute games whenever I'm like doing the thing. How's your morning been, Lynn? How are you today? Ed the engineer, hello and welcome. Did I accidentally press a button? There we go. Hello and welcome, Ed the engineer. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a good one. Let's put that over here so I can see it better.
I'm doing pretty well overall. Surprised I'm not sore.
Yeah, that means we're doing good recovery. Hell yeah. Kim, let me... Oh, every time I click out of it, it's gonna do this. While also acknowledging my stuff. Okay. So first off, what is all in here? I literally was installing this earlier this morning. It was like 36 gigs and it took... I don't know how long it took, actually. It was relatively quick. So we've got here Rebirth, Reminisce, Redemption, and Reconnection. Now, I thought there were 3 GU games. Is there a 4th one now? Huh. So that's new. Alrighty, and then what's this? Terminal disk and parody
and yet,
mode.
I heard they released a 4th one with this package.
Okay. Alrighty. Again, my only experience with GU and this part of Dot Hack has been Roots and the movie. But the movie obviously cuts out a lot of things, changes a couple things, and that's where I'm like... Logan gifted me this a while back. And, was like, the games are good. And that you get a lot more with the games. And then I also own the manga. Let's go Rebirth. Alright, new game. Cheat mode. Recommended for those who play GU or for those who only want to enjoy the story. Anthony says that leveling up in this game isn't that hard, so let's go normal mode. Let's see how this is like. Now that was just the launch?
I played Infection, Mutation, and saw a fair bit of Outbreak, but don't know how Quarantine went, but feel like that cover on Rebirth is quite telling.
Alrighty. Also keeping an eye on the levels and stuff. If I have to lower the game anymore. Create character. I really love the music, just in general, like Dot Hack's vibe. I've always loved it.
Yeah.
All right. Dazzling Twilight Dream, The World R2. So far, this looks pretty clean, but I also know that these were like...
It feels like Dot Hack's music partially inspired Niers, but that's me.
You know what? It's possible. They do have very similar vibes.
There's really a vibe there.
Yeah. Also, this looks really clean. I know this is like a remaster, kind of like... Whoa. Polish. Oh, this is Japanese. Okay, well. Why did it default to Japanese? Also, hi Zedian. How are you doing? Welcome.
Probably because the English dub for this game is pain.
I don't care. I want to listen to it.
Haha.
No, I don't want to skip.
メンバーアドレスを渡すでござるよ。
Acquired EO10's member address. Asta's member address.
Also hello there Ed the engineer and Zidian, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, hello.
ショートメールを使えば
Short mail
お
allows
互い
you
が
to
ザ・
say
ワール
send
ドで
and
プレイ
receive
している限
messages.
り瞬時にメッセージを送り合うことができる。
ちなみにザ・ワールドではメンバーアドレスを持っている相手しかパーティーに誘うことができぬ。
それじゃメニューを開いてみようか。
Press Y. I am pressing Y. Select party. Memoir. Log out. Select party.
ここに表示されているのはお主がメン
Forming a party. Add them and add them. Okay.
おいおい、何してるんだ。
I already know exactly where this is gonna go. Sending short mail.
OK。
説がお主の
よし、これでパーティー編成は完了だ。パーティーに誘えるのはロ
You
グイ
can
ン
only
してる
invite
相
people
手。
logged into the world.
前置きはこのくらいにして。
Head to the save shop before going on an adventure. Talk to the save shop clerk, includes the save, blah blah. Alright, well first off, let us... I can't log out right now. Well, I want... Here we go. This is not the game options I want. I want to make... I want to play the dub! I can't log out, and there's no skill trigger, equipment, skill, party. Alright, well I guess I did not know it defaulted to Japanese. Might as well save before leaving. Approach the save shop and press A. I am. Or do I have to... Might as well save before leaving. Oh wait, is it the wrong way? Is it... This is the save shop. Would you like to save your... Yes. Create new save data. The versions use the Chaos Gate to go on the adventure. The hack sign theme has been playing since I woke up. That witchcraft. Alright, hold on.
Seems to have set you in chosen defaulted foreign land.
Yeah, and again, I don't quite mind that, but I didn't even see the options for that. Warp menu.
カオスゲートって俺たちプレイヤ
I'm
ーは
very
この
clever.
ゲートを使って
Hey,
今いる転送メニューを
town,
選ん
warp menu. I like how they kind of use this to kind of help you learn.
ダンジョンと
In the
か
world, the locations for root towns, fields, and dungeons are called
エリアで
areas.
はカオスゲート。
このワードの転送先のエリアじゃ実際には
Area world.
これがワード入力
Where you
画面
input the
一番
worlds.
上にあるのがワードプレート
The world plate.
この
You
枠
can
の中
combine
で
3 words in here to
3種
create
類
the
のワ
area
ー
you
ド画
want to
面の
go.
左端にあるジャイロは
The
今
gyro
持っ
at
て
the
いる
left of the
ワード
screen
のスト
shows
ッ
your
ク
current
ワ
stock
ード
of
のストッ
words.
クは
You can get
メ
more
ールや
words by getting
BBS
information from other
他の
parties,
プレイヤー
emails,
さん
and
で
forums. Why don't you give
実
it a
際
try?
にワ
Let's
ードを
start with
入
the
力
first
してみよ
word.
うかストックの中から
Choose courageous. Well, that's all I've got. Select engaging. Select daydream.
これであそうそう
Is the mark on the
それは
world?
サーバー
That's
シン
the
ボル
server
って言
symbol.
って
Indicates the server you're
今表
currently
示
in.
されているのは
Right
デル
now
タ
it's
だ
showing
つま
Delta.
り今俺たち
So
が
as
い
you
る
can
サ
see,
ーバー
we're
は
all in the
デル
Delta
タサーバ
server.
ー
ワードが一緒で
If it's
も
a different
サー
server,
バー
you'll
シ
go
ン
to
ボルが
another
違
area
うと
even
転
within
送
the
先
same
保護者
area
が冒
world.
険に誘われ
Gated
た
into the
時は
server civil
ま
when
ず
invited to an
サー
area
バ
by a
もっと
friend.
詳しいことを知りたかった
Want to know more? Go check out
BBS
some of the
とか
forums.
よし
Alright,
それ
we're
じゃ
off to courageous, engaging, daydream. Alright, they're gonna kill the fuck out of me. The game knows that only weebs play this game, so it's not going to give you English by default. I guess not.
さて
Transported to a field.
ここがフィールドだ
では マップを開いてフィールドの構成を見てみるでござる。
Go ahead and press back. Oh no. Here we go.
これが全体マップ。
Area map.
この画面では
Use the screen to check
現在位置とか
current position, mission
ミッション
info,
の
and other
内容とか。
information you may need. Let's take a look at what our mission is. Go ahead and press A.
ここに表示されているのが
Symbol fragments required for this area currently
ミッションってい
possession.
うのは
証のかけらというアイ
証のかけら。祭壇はモンスターが守ってるから
Monsters.
モンスターを倒して
Get the monster's
こ
first
れ
and
が
open the
祭
treasure.
壇アイはこ
Those
のアイ
first
コ
head
ンを
each
目
of
指
these
し
icons and open the treasure chest.
この最終目的は
さてミッションも
ちょっと待ったアスター。
Forgot one more thing. Use these transports to return to town after completing the area's mission. Oh! Rod, I need those!
さて
うむ
If you're unsure where the beast temple or the altars are, just press and check the map. You still can't log out. Hey, where are you going? Alright. That's
お早
found an altar already. Perform a surprising attack by approaching the monsters around the altar without being seen and pressing A when the target sensor appears. Oh, they're definitely a lot higher than me. Yeah, they're level 10. What are they called? Eoten and Asta.
お命ちょうだい。
バトルが始まるとバトルエリアはバトル
Battle
フェン
fence.
スで
It's
囲
virtually
まれて
impossible
い
for
る。
anyone to
唯
escape.
一逃げ
The
無
only way to
玉
escape from a
という
battle
特
is
殊
with an
なアイテ
item
ム
so
を
called
今は
smoke
俺も
screen.
明日も
Asta and I
持ってない
don't
んだ。
have one, so we'll have to fight it out.
思ったより簡単でござる。
Hold down and release when the gauge is full. Charge attacks.
うまいうまい。
Controls for attacking. I might need to lower the game just a little bit more, I feel. Just because I feel like it might still be just a tad bit loud. Let's bring it down to 35. Usually pretty good. Oh shit.
ま、ざっとこんなもんだな。
Okay, so sometimes the treasure chests are on top of the altars will contain symbol fragments. You need to open the beast temple. Remember to search the treasure chest after defeating the monsters around the area. Okay. Symbol fragment. Alright, that's the beast temple down there. Alrighty.
お
Another altar.
次はスキル攻撃。
Skills. Perform a surprise attack by approaching the monsters without being seen and pressing A when the huh?
やったろうじゃん。さっき教えた通常攻撃スキル攻撃ってのは
Okay, so require SP and they require Y. Right button.
よし。パネルが4枚それぞれのパネ
Press
ル
the
に
button that
対応した
corresponds
ボ
to each
タン
panel
を
and
押せば
includes different arts.
では試しに
Try out what using Gale Blue.
オーケ
Perfect.
スキルトリガーは
Skill trigger is not just a shortcut.
ー。例えば
It can be used to stop enemy attacks, or it can be used to interrupt one of your own. Or trigger
大
something
事なス
important.
キルトリガーにはもっと重要な
There's
使
an
い
even
方
more
がある
important
で
use
ご
for
ざ
the
る。
skill trigger.
忘れてない。
Of course, I haven't forgotten. You're talking about Rengeki, right? Rengeki is an advanced skill attack with an increased amount of inflicted damage. To perform Rengeki, use a skill attack when an enemy is surrounded by a blue and purple ring. Attack the enemy until it's surrounded by blue and purple rings. Well, we only got... Okay. Favorite action is triggered when Renegeki is used and other conditions are met. It raises the morale of your party members and will allow you to execute more powerful attacks. Conditions for favorite action vary with each party member. Ben, no, don't Trump.
よしいいぞ
ではハセオの好きなように
Should I
や
let
ら
him
せて
play as he wishes? That's a good idea.
Sorry,
Say it's all up to you now. Trigger gauge will appear above the player's head when the skill trigger is used. It is not possible to use items or skills until this gauge fills up and blah 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 appears. I'll let you die. Alrighty, hold on. Rengeki bonus. Okay. Big fucking hype time. Hell yeah, Anthony. Treasure chest at the top of the altar. I can't wait till they fucking actually backstab me. Because I think that was literally Haseo's first experience in the world, was that players, some PKers approached him being like, oh, we'll help you learn the ropes. We'll help you learn how it works here in the world. And then they fucking kill him and they're like, this is how it works here in the world. Fuck you. And then it's like, oh, okay. Okay, level up. Judge's symbol. Alrighty. I was an infant and used to watch my brother play this. Yeah?
よしよくやったそれじゃあ最後に獣人伝を目指してみようか
先ほど教えたようにマップを見て確認すると良いでござるよ
Apparently autocorrect wants me to call you a thong today. Huh. Okay, yeah, we know the way. It was just down. I like the running speed in this game. It's nice and fast.
We zoom in.
We zoomin'. Zoom zoom. And already just the controls feel just natural. Platform. Hey, where are you going? Yeah, they're not letting me go.
これがサニワの神コルセトの像だ俺らは単に獣人像って呼んでるけど
In the game
公式の
story, it's
設
supposed
定
to
じ
be
ゃ
important god or
結構偉
something.
い神様らしい
People don't
ぜ
play the world for the story.
ほらあそこ
See that treasure box? That's the offering
宝
to the
箱
beast
が備えて
statue.
あるだろあの中には
There's a rare item
ここでし
inside
か
that
ゲッ
it
トできないレ
you
ア
can
アイ
only
テ
get
ム
in
が
this
入ってる
area.
ハセオ開けるでござるよ
いいのか
いいからいいから初心者
You're
遠
still a
慮すん
noob,
な
you
よ
can get all the help you can get. You need all the help you can get. Guy gear.
ありがとうえ何宝箱のアイテムは君の獲
セツラの獲物は君
物逃げ惑う子羊を一瞬で消すなんて快感なんだろうお前みたいなバカはこのゲームやる資格ないんだよ
おいおい今回はセツに切らせてくれると約束したであろうこれはセツの
Hi, Martian. How we doing? Welcome.
獲物でござるよ
It kind of really sucks because these types of players are the fucking worst. Like, he just logged into the game, you helped him you gave him the ropes, and then you're like, no, now we're gonna kill you because you suck at this. And it's like, it's literally the first day. It's literally the first hour. This is just bullying.
I love how this is actually a pretty common trope for stories set in MMO games, but it
Yeah.
isn't really a thing that happens.
Yeah. Not that I know of, at least. But I've heard that there are players like this.
インしたばかりの初心者はこんなもんでござるか。
Oh yeah, this is basically a straw man scenario.
Mm-hmm.
まったくちょっと優しいふりするとコロッと騙されるんだよね。おい、まだいるんだろ？
I'm doing good, been clean, and hell yeah. People who do this have massive insecurity issues. Hello. Hello, I say. The way I find it, people who probably fall into this thing, again, it's like, not to give them an excuse, because absolutely there's no excuse to be like this, this is what they experienced when they started playing a game. They came into a game, somebody acted really nice to them, and then immediately went back on that little bit of trust, and then killed them, and made it a shit time for them. Not even just so much in games, but just in certain things in general, where they're like, this is how it works. And it's like, that's not how it works, that's just how you experienced it, and now you're just kind of passing on that torch that nobody wants. And like, obviously with MMOs, there are communities like this. Again, I don't know a lot of MMOs. I don't know how many communities actually do things like this. But I've heard of games where they kind of have an open PvE, PvP thing, and people just, hell, I've experienced it with fucking Minecraft 8 months later.
There are some really bad people in online spaces, and they kind of represent that aspect, though really, while newbie hunting is used as a trope in a ridiculous number of stories set in games, actual newbie hunting incidents basically only happen in PvP servers, and even then is pretty uncommon.
Yeah, because it's just akin to bullying. It's just bullying. Honestly, the only place I've seen this is WoW servers and PvP, but it was rare. Yeah, obviously, things like .hack kind of inflate it, where they kind of make it seem like it's actually this thing. And it's like, you could easily, a game, any MMO that cares about its community could easily patch this. But the fact the world doesn't means that it's a bad game. The PKK. Steve Bloom. Ooh. Jameson Price. I'm seeing all these names I know.
The scenario of people coming up pretending to be around to help out newbies, just to betray and PK them, has probably happened less than 100 times throughout all of gaming history.
Yeah. Crispin Freeman, Carrie Walgreen, Wendy Lee. I want to switch to the goddamn dub, though. Because I know the dub in some aspects are bad. But it's not because of the actors, it's because Dave Wittenberg. Like, these were names you saw everywhere in dubs. It's kind of funny how in his whole like Terror of Death stage, he has like a blade similar to the one used to kill him. It's like he almost has a vendetta against it in a way. But like, is like, this tool hurt me, so I'm using it to hurt others. And Terra is Kirk Thornton. Alcade, Aaron Fitzgerald. Yep.
そんなに強いなんて思わなかったよ。100人の PK を切ったって噂もまんざら嘘じゃないみたいだね。
There's just no incentive structure for it. Killing new players has no reward, and you'd have to find a group of like-minded assholes all for the sake of being a dick to a random person who doesn't even know what's going on. It's a whole lot of effort for basically nothing.
Yeah, you don't get nothing out of it. It's like kicking a toddler. Like, okay, cool. Like, how do you feel? What did you get out of this?
トライエッジを知ってるか。
なんだって？
総縁をまとった伝説の PK の名だ。奴にキルされた PC は
The players that get killed by him never come back to the game.
くだらねえ。BBS の
Is
階
that
段話
Warudo?
信じてんじゃねえよ。いいか。このボルドー様に手をかけて。
There we go. I was like, she's named after something. Bordeaux. I was like, she's named after liquor. It's like, just say you don't fucking know before he kills you anyway. God.
使えねえな。ち
But it makes the good antagonist if you need a hateable villain, so realism be damned, we telling stories.
Yeah, and from a storytelling aspect, it's all right. But there's, the most PKing I've seen is in fucking Minecraft servers, and they're already PvP ones. But I remember like a long time ago, some friends and we went into a server that had these really nice like mods in it that we really liked, but it was also PvP. But what we chose to do was just to get,
and you can loot people you kill in that, right?
yeah. The general idea with PvP servers in Minecraft at that time. Hold on.
刺繍の漂うようなキャラだな。死の恐怖。PKK の長谷尾君。PC をキルする PC、すなわち PK が横行する昨今のザワールドは確かに嘆かわしい。しかし、それを力でねじ伏せる君たち PKK のやり方に利があるだろうか。
It's pretty much vigilanteism, the PKKs.
But even if you assume you could loot people in the world here, newbies won't even have anything.
Yeah.
それを見過ごすことはできないそうだ。
月の木なんだそれ。ギルドの名前か。あいにくお友達の勧誘なら間に合ってるぜ。
Sakaki, not Sasaki. I thought it was Sasaki, it's Sakaki.
人の話は最後まで聞きましょう。榊さんの話まだ終わってないです。
シノ
Sukaki because he's so cocky.
Sakaki.
君の知り合いなのか。
いいえ。
アトリ。
ネットゲームで同系の
It's not
PC。
unusual to meet players with similar characters in an online game like this.
とんだ人違いだな。
てめえ、いちいち。あ、ショートメールの着信か。デルタサーバー、隠されし禁断の被爆、アルケケルン大幕府にて待つ。
Yeah, no joke, don't be weird about it. The character creation menu only has so many options, my guy.
I want to believe that Dot Hack's music inspired the composer for Nier. But I'm not sure. They have the same, a very similar vibe.
PKK の行っている行為は PK と変わらないということを心しておけ。
Very much so.
Ah, man. I kind of want his heels. Why do people play this game if it's literally causing mental anguish? It's so dumb. Hmm. It's that thing of, again, in the case of the world, you kind of have to suspend some of your disbelief for the sake of the story. Because again, any actual game that had the issues that the world had would have immediately been shut down. Like, this takes place after Sign and Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, and Quarantine. The world would never have had a R2 with what the world went through during that time. Never. Never. And when it comes to this issue with PKKs, they would have put in patches to fix that very early on. Especially if it affected their player base and got as notorious as it has, as it's claimed to be in its own world.
黄昏の旅団が解体した時もあんたは来なかった。あんたこの半年間何してた？そいつは小さな種子だった。そこに宿るものが何なのか確かめる術はただ一つ。だから俺はそれを育てた。育てた？何のことだ、オーバー？比喩的な言い回しさ。あんたが突然いなくなって俺たちはなんであん時いなくなっちまったんだ。あの後シノはトライエッジのことを知りたい。奴を知ってるのか？半年前トライエッジにキルされたシノは二度とここに戻っては来なかった。リアルのシノのプレイヤーは意識を失い未だに原因不明の昏睡状態だ。あれはただの PK じゃなかった。
Story. Like you also have to remember that, for manga, anime or the like set in games, they always assume complete full dive secondary world status, where the artifice of the screen and restrictions of coded actions are set aside in favor of absolute autonomy.
あるいはトライエッジを倒せば
Like again, with games set in MMOs, you have to suspend some disbelief because in an actual game, these would just be two character models looking at each other. It wouldn't have this level of emotion and voice and everything. Hidden Forbidden Holy Ground, the place where Shino was killed.
Oh hey, Aura's temple.
やっとこの手で絶対にシノを取り戻してやるなあ、オーバー。ああ、これは俺たちにしかできないことだからな。俺たちにしか。オーバー。仕込みがあるので先に行く。聖域で。
When you gaslight and gatekeep with motionless avatars. Yeah. Doing an RP over Ventral. It's the argument of why set this story in a game then? Because, and I can't relate to this aspect either because I didn't really play a lot of MMOs back then. But some people take MMOs and RPGs very seriously. It's like a second life.
It's also literally the only form of social media. Girl hasn't logged on? Have you checked her Twitter? Shot her a message on Skype?
Send her a DM on Discord.
Facebook is the thing, my guy.
Yeah, because it's just like also, again, Shino hasn't come back to the world.
That was popular at the time.
That was me for a long time. WoW was all I would play. And again, like, your WoW life might have just been everything to you, and it could have been this serious.
ここには昔少女の像があったんだって。
少女？
アウラ、そう呼ばれてたらしいよ。
なんで亡くなっちまったんだろ
さ
Maybe he just stopped giving a shit. That's another reason why they were popular. MMOs were unique because they were modern day social media platforms. Yeah, it was the best way to get like just real time with somebody. Sometimes a lot of instant messengers sucked. Email was email. And this was a place where not only can you interact with friends, but you can play with them, you can socialize, you could feel like you're with them. If you were someone that was home all day for whatever reason, that didn't want to join separate websites and things like that, a game was the best way to do it. Especially younger crowds like us who were in our teens, early 20s, or even younger back then. Club Penguin. Like, I remember people talk
Delta
about
hitting Forbidden Holy Ground. I remember being in awe of the beauty of this temple way back when. I almost don't want to play it again to see it for the polygonal mess it must surely appear now. Also, hi Kite.
Yeah. The only thing so far that I'll give this a little bit of a downside is that unless you've seen Roots, you have no idea what's going on. You don't know why there's an 8-month time skip, because you have to see Roots.
Haven't seen Roots.
Yeah. Honestly, Roots isn't that necessary, but it's what happens in the gap between the very start of the game and the 8-month time skip. What happened to Hiseo before the games happen? What was his time in the world? Who is Shino? Who is Ovan? Who is the other people he kind of makes short reference of? What's going on? Why is he so angry? Who is this dude? Like... Like 8 months, suddenly this dude's a fucking pro player that has now built up his own reputation as someone who is essentially a vigilante in the game. I want to go back and play the hack games I was trying to play and finish Quarantine, and the PS2 disc was busted and corrupted. Oh, fuck. I feel that. Oh my goodness.
Get data drained, nerd.
Yup. Back to level 1 we go! Did you think for a moment that you were gonna be allowed to play as fucking Elite Hacksaws fucking Hiseo with his level 99 or whatever fucking level he was here? No. Fuck you. You're back at level 1. Go learn the game, scrub. He's like, what? Bit. And then there's that little flash of like, I pissed a lot of people off. I always thought that was a good troll.
Sorry, you do not meet the requirements to wear this equipment, and have been flagged by the system for hacking.
Yep. Reboot complete. Oh, my controller turned off. All those cutscenes took so long. Don't you love it when the sequels take the protagonist of the last game and reset the power level? Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom has been pretty cool so far. What the? I was fighting Tri-Edge, but then... Damn it, I can't remember. Just in reformat. Huh? I don't remember doing that. Formatted? What's going on? What about my emails? Mail station. What the hell? I would never delete these. They're all gone? Even the emails I got from Shino? Everything's been reformatted. What the hell's going on? You have one new mail. Fine, let's take a look. Ovan. There's a new mail. Choices.
Have you ever considered Shino might just not be into you?
There are 2 paths before you. One of these will lead to safety and shame. It is a path where you give up the world and never log in again. and resume your search for the truth. Let me be blunt. The latter path is torturous and will threaten both your mind and body. It involves playing the game. Once you've chosen it, there will be no turning back. If you still choose to walk this path, then there will come a time when you and I will meet once again in the world. When the time comes, I will once again say this to you. Welcome to the world. Trial and truth. Whether or not I should quit the world? You should know better, Ovan. I'm gonna go back to the world, and then I'll get Shino back no matter what. That's the funny thing, too. It's like she's actually not even that into him. She's just like, yeah, he's nice. Movie player. Alright, that's probably for
Therapy,
like...
get it.
Okay, what's this for? BGM. I like how they have like a little desktop here though. That's kind of cute. Data manager. News capture. CC Japan announces new model M2D. CyberConnect Japan announced the release of a new M2D micro monocle display. The retail price will be too much fucking money. Outdoor introverts. The advances in mobile technology have given birth to a new type of introvert. Known as outdoor introverts, they refuse to let go of their mobile devices during travel, work, school, shopping, eating, and even romantic dates. So this generation of teenagers is what I'm hearing. Yo, low-key, I'm kind of an outdoor introvert. Ubiquitous families surpass 70%. Virtual academics. World. New space station nearing completion. Nation unified on citizen numbering system. This seems to just be the news. It's the news. Bro even drained your email. Yo. Community forum. The world, Crimson Versus, the news, rumors. Looking for TAN, urban legend. Please read the rumor board. I'm not gonna worry about looking through all that stuff, but I like how they're trying to kind of like give you the feel of like you're on a computer. Now I want to return to title screen, but I haven't saved, so no. News capture, community forum, data manager. Here we go. The world. Mine OS offers a creative and comfortable lifestyle for everyone. So there's a slight chance of getting murdered, but you feel like you're in a fantasy novel. So worth it. Also, hi Benkin, how we doing? Damn teenagers with their AI girlfriends. You say that jokingly, but being alone in the woods is the shit. So there's a slight chance of getting yeah, okay. Hold on. Okay, there's login, official site. The Twin Blade. The Blade Brandier. The Edge Punisher, Lord Partisan, Tribal Grappler, the Flick Reaper, the Steam Gunner, the Adept Rogue, the Harvest Cleric, yep, Shadow Warlock, Macabre Dancer. Can I go up faster than this? No. Yeah, so Haseo's a twin blade. Adept Rogue is, I think, what he gets later? Or is he already an Adept Rogue, but he's just using twin blades? Their attacks leave no opening for an opponent to counterattack. Edge Punisher, Lord Partisan, Tribal Grappler, Flick Reaper. Because then what's the Adept Rogue?
But not, I actually low-key love nitpicking gamer stories. I understand the suspension of disbelief in how it's necessary to develop a compelling narrative, but it's still super funny to take a step back and be like, so here's what this would actually look like, and why any real person would see that message from Oven and be lol dude, WTF? My shit got hacked and you're sniffing your farts waxing poetic? Anyway, I'm going to log back in and find that chick who isn't even there because I'm sure she'll log on if I look around a lot in the game she's not playing. I'm sure that's how it works.
Here's also the thing again. Ovan mentioned he was like, the real Shino is in a coma and hasn't woken up. Ovan, how do you know that? Have you been visiting her? Can you tell me where she is at least? That's my friend. But also, it's like... What's going on? Why is my equipment different? Why am I a noob again? I just want to change to the dub. Back at level 1? My items. My member list. My equipment. Ah, fuck! I pissed off a lot of people. It's all gone. My whole character has been completely reformatted.
ねえさっきの人見た見た変な腕ねえ
腕オーバーあいつなら何か知っているはずだ
Alright, sometimes your next destination is indicated on the map by a cursor. Like plot to use a map. Use the map. Alrighty. Gotta find Ovan, he might be in town. Well, first off, where is... Current position, save shop. It won't let me go in. Alright. This is the game, like, telling me to play it, and I get that. But I wanna save. Nice to meet you.
But also that just goes to show Hizio here is like, oh she's in a coma, I know, I'll play the game a lot and make it my RP backstory that I'm trying to find my not girlfriend. Hell yeah, that sounds deep as fuck, loving that edge for me. She'll totally get it when she wakes up and think I'm super cool.
I mean, if you were in a coma and woke up to find your online friend whom you met IRL in the room with you, would you be happy? I'd be creeped out. Well, here's the thing, and this is where I could be incorrect. But Shino and Ovan already know each other IRL.
Yeah.
They already know each other IRL. The only one they don't know IRL is Haseo. Haseo doesn't know where Shino is. And I can't remember if they even knew. And the engineer, thank you for following. Hope you've enjoyed your time here. They only know that Shino stopped playing the game and disappeared after she was killed. Now, I think he learned that it was like, no, she's in a coma. And that's where, like, again, Haseo gets his whole thing of, if I kill Tri-Edge, she'll wake up. And, I mean, I don't kind of blame him for coming to that conclusion, because what else is he supposed to do? Especially when you also consider that Haseo is just like a 15-year-old kid.
And to be fair, if I was Oven and my mutual friend was dropping lines about her like Hizio, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm not letting this guy around her.
Yeah, probably. It's that thing where it's like, here's the thing, Haseo at the end of the day is just a kid. Warp point. He's just a kid. I'm not gonna say that he doesn't know better, because as someone who was PK'd on within his first hour in the world, he would know that...
Guy seems sweet, but he's young and weird, and I don't really trust him around my friend's comatose body.
Yeah, that's that thing of like, if I was to let him see Shino, if I was to give him access to my comatose friend, supervision, yes, absolutely. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do in that hospital room. People can be really gross, no matter what age they are. But at the same time, and at this point, especially now, 8 months in, seeing what Haseo became, as Ovan...
I've seen Evangelion. Absolutely not.
As Ovan, I'd be like, no, you're kind of obsessed. You are obsessed with Shino. And he is. He is very obsessed with Shino. She was the first person that was legitimately nice to him. nice to him for nothing in return, like
やっ
genuinely
ぱある
nice.
程度の手応えがないとね。
ですよね。弱っちい奴らばっかりじゃ
I drank all my
腕が
coffee.
なまっちまいますしね。
そこで言うと
The rogue we fought the last
この
time, he
前の
really
マル
wasn't
チウ
that
ェポ
bad.
ンは相手にとって不足なし。
あいつ狙うんすか？
当たり前だろうが。このまま黙って引き下がるなんて真似。このボルドー様にはできやしないんだよ。
はあ。
Hi, Anthony. How we doing? There's also
Pretty
magic
good.
bullshit in this world as well. Yeah, no, there's also other stuff going on, but like that's. I feel like that's the kind of appeal in dot hack with dot hack, because again, it was mentioned earlier. Someone was like, "Well, if you're gonna go through all this, why not just set it in a fantasy world?" You don't understand. There's something really cool, and this is where everybody kind of gets into their own little young, chuny main character phase, where like. Where like there's something really cool about the idea that maybe there's just something more in this game. Maybe there's something more going on with this thing you're interacting with. Like if the world worked that way, this could be you, you know? Sometimes there's an
The
appeal to
artifice of dot hack is that it's supposed to actually be that full dive secondary world VR game.
That's Gaspar's Japanese voice.
PKK の派生を
Mhm.
It's like a helium tank.
PKK か。どっかで聞いたことあるって思ったん
Yeah,
だよな。
I didn't know it defaulted to the
Though dot
Japanese
hack
dub.
specifically gets mixed messages on that.
気がするぞ。
Mhm.
そうだっけ？
そうだよ。
Since they still have a controller.
Mhm.
俺が本物の PKK のハセオだ。
And presumably a user interface.
Mhm.
Yeah.
そういうことはもう少しレベル上げてから言わなきゃ。
Interface.
お前ら。
初心者さんなら僕らがいろいろ教えてあげるよ。
こう見えてもオイラたちは初心者支援ギルドのカナードに所属してるんだな。
初心者支援
The
ギルド。
new support guild. I
一
can play
人前の
D&D?
プレイ
Yeah,
ヤー
have
に
a
なる
good
ため
time,
に
Rod.
必
Thanks
要
for
な
coming.
ゲームの基本知
Have a
識を
good
教える
one.
ギルド。
結構有名なんだぞ。
もっとまず
We
ネイバー
just
は
don't show those because they create a layer of separation that detracts from the emotional weight desired from these interactions.
Yeah.
メンバーアドレスっていうのは、ザワールドの中で
変なのに絡まれちまう。
Even lost sight of Ovan.
結局、
Yeah, you did.
オーバンも見失ったし。
Well, again, Ovon's kind of an asshole, so I wouldn't want to look at him in general, to be
元の
honest.
死の恐怖に戻らないとな。
Fuck you,
仕方
Ovon.
ね
Hmm.
You
ち
know
ょっ
what
と
you
だ
did.
けこいつらに付き合ってやる
Well,
か。
Sayo doesn't know yet, so.
だから必ず承認してくれるわけじゃないんだよ。ってちゃんと聞いてた？
ああ、聞いてた聞いてた。
本当に？
本当だって。んなことより、いろいろ教えてくれるんだろ。ほら、とっとと次の授業に行こうぜ。
じゃあエリアに行こうか。
オイラたちをパーティーに誘ってカオ
I
ス
should
ゲ
have
ー
put some
ト
rice to
に行く
warm
ん
up so I
だ
had
ぞ。
something to eat. I can probably still do that. Just need to head to the Chaos Gate. Uh-huh. But what I want to do is save so that I can put the dub of the game on, because I want to play the English version.
Yep.
I want
I
to
don't know why it
switch the
defaults.
And
dub.
ruthlessly mock the delivery.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
There's
here's
so
the
many
thing.
good deliveries so far.
It's not even
I,
just
actually, between
Hmm?
I managed to switch it over to English before you got to that cutscene in the alley. Like before that, I don't know why you weren't able to do it before.
Can I just... I can't log out, and I don't really... You can't do it here, so it's like... I didn't know that it would immediately set you to the dub, to the sub. And then it's like, by the time I'm in the game, I'm like, I can't change this setting. It's not here. And I didn't really think to look for the options menu in the thing, because first of all, this is just a polished up port, essentially. So there's no reason for me to worry about, like, tuning the graphics to anything. But then there's also just, again, I didn't think they would just default to the sub.
Yeah. Might just have to suffer through it for a little while.
That's okay. If they let me save, then I can maybe go back to the main menu. Because I'm still on my God, door. I'm still on my previous train of thought, but I really want to switch to the dub. Yeah, I know that. Peace, leading, freedom. Thank you. Save. Might as well go along for now. Okay, so I think I might just have to close the game. So that I can fucking set it, because you're being a butt. I don't want the health drink. Oh, save changes and no, it's actually just returning to the game. Alright. I'm just gonna have to hard close it. Bam. Hard close. It has been closed hard. Reopen it. Okay, let me quickly put that rice to warm up, because I'm getting hungry. Put in the rice cooker, that'll do it. I probably want to lower the game just a little bit more. Let's just lower it to an even 30. Alrighty. Return. X's options. Here we go. Language. I want it in English.
English.
Sound. That's something I can do. Instead of constantly lowering it on my end through this, I can just lower the actual game. No. Keep the voices just a little bit better. And movie at 7. Right? Yeah. No, it didn't save it. Fuck. Okay. There we go. Did that do it? Yes. Okay. Language. Adjust display. What's that? No, that's fine. We're good there. Steam. Game options. Vibration, camera type, cursor, memory. Now we're good. Apply these settings? Yes. Alrighty, let's go back. Now I just... Oh no, it saved where I saved. Yeah. Let us return. Let me... 20 minutes should be enough for it to let that rice warm up. Exchange item with a member of your party. No. Okay, so we have to go to warp menu. Bookmark. Peaceful leading freedom. Initiate area warp. Perfect.
Attention! Bringing one noob to the dungeon! Repeat, bringing one noob to the dungeon!
I told you that I'm not a noob.
Thank you.
I know. You're really the terror of death, right? I can understand you wanting to roleplay something like that, but I'm not really sure if you should do terror of death, you know? Player killers are going to come after you, and it'll definitely be rough for you.
Hey, just shut up and listen.
So you're saying you're really the PKK Haseo, the Terror of Death. And when you logged in, your level went down from 133 to 1?
No way! I've never heard of a bug quite like that. Wow!
I'm not lying.
Okay, but still.
Gaspard, that's what he's role-playing.
Oh my god.
Oh, now I get it. That's some really complicated character background.
It's not role-playing.
Don't be embarrassed. We'll accept your character concept.
God.
Just relax and come with us.
Will you please listen to me already?
Okay, so I feel like here's keeping an eye on the thing. I'm still gonna want to lower.
To be fair, this interaction is actually believable.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, and this is something that I feel like is gonna work on the Narmi aspect of the game. Obviously, with Japanese, first off, weebs will let the Japanese get away with anything. That's one thing. 2, we tend to be harsher on performances when we can understand them, and thus kind of better take in the context of what's going on. 2, what's going to work against this game in terms of delivery, unless it's in cutscenes, like movie cutscenes, when it's in-game like this, there is no blinking, there is no mouth movements, it's just head bobs, ups and downs. And no matter what, it's like playing with dolls. Certain things are not going to come out as well because your conduit that's kind of performing these actions and saying these lines is not emoting in a way that really puts you in that position. Funny enough, like in an actual game. So, with all that said in mind, I feel like it'll be a lot easier to probably appreciate the performances because, again, you have to consider that the characters are playing a game and an actual game has certain limitations on what it can and can't do. To expect voice chat to be able to just emote everything that's being said into the game, that's stupid. No game does that. No game does that. That isn't already pre-programmed, recorded, and interfaced into the game. In an actual online game, if I'm talking to Anthony, my character's face is not going to move and emote the way it is, the way I am. That's realistic.
I love Squeak's diatribes to be as charitable as possible to something that isn't seen as very good. I feel like when it comes to things like this, I want to enjoy them the most I can. And I already know I'm going to be probably getting into some Narmi, some very fallen flat performances. Either they're going to be too hammy or not hammy enough. And that's just something that kind of happens. Does that mean that the actors were doing a bad job or that the material they were given is bad? No, that's not always the case. Because the actors, they record the takes and are directed as such, and that's their job. The most important thing when it comes to being an actor is directability. If you can't be molded and shaped, you can't work. And these actors didn't get to where these actors at the time, and even now, since some of them are still working, but didn't get as prolific as they did by not being able to be worked with not being able to be flexible and directed, not being reliable. And that's something that a lot of people that only stick to subs tend to not want to think about when they come to hating dubs of things. Oh, you're not wrong. These factors are certainly at play. It's just funny in contrast, because you'd be saying all these things might be true, but it's literally their job to do a better job. So every imperfection would be seen as a failure to live up to expectations if people were saying it was amazing.
It's that thing of, I'm ready for some Narmi performances. But from what I've seen of Yuri Lowenthal, for example, because he's playing Haseo, I know he can do better. I know, I've heard him do better. But I also know enough other actors in the industry who have listened to the final product and be like, they chose that take? That's the one they chose? And it's like, no, they even I've been in projects where I've recorded several takes.
But yeah, mostly this is a period where English direction was super scuff and the producers just did not care.
It depends on how much they were paid, and again, sometimes the producers and directors go, want to go left, but then the very people on the top, the executive producers and stuff like that, are like, no, we're going left.
Bad dubs are almost always the fault of direction rather than the actors.
Yeah. But that's that thing of like, again, and even myself, when I've recorded for stuff, I've had times where I hear the final product and I'm like, that's the take they liked? That's the one they chose to go with?
Yeah, right.
And it'll be, to me, the worst out of the takes. The take that I'll be like, why did I even leave that take in? And then you see the comments and they're like, oh, this person sucked. And it's just like, no, they chose a shitty take.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
You look like a thirsty bitch.
So that's also where it's like, I know Yuri Lowenthal can do better. He was probably directed in a way that he probably, if he had been in charge, he wouldn't have gone with. But at the end of the day, his job isn't to decide what take goes into the final product. It's to record several takes and then that they can work with in the first place. And, again, as someone who has done this, it's always a shame because no one thinks about the people who actually make these things happen. Like, the voice actors are just that. They're the voice actors. They don't decide how the final product comes out, but are always the first to get blamed when a product isn't up to the standard that the consumer thinks it should be at. That being said, this also, again, like Lynn said, was a different time and place where the main concern was just getting it out, not getting it out well. Localizations were just that. They were localizations. They were about getting it translated and out, because they also know that around this time, voice acting in games was becoming more prevalent, and because of that, a lot of new players getting into these sorts of video games do not want to read. And especially with JRPGs, it was that thing of it was hard to sell the original audio track of games. People don't want to read. It could be voiced, but I don't know what they're saying. I want to see the action. I want to know what's going on. I don't want to have to look down to the lower half of the screen. That's why some people can't watch subbed anime. They don't want to focus on that lower half of the screen and then miss whatever's going on top. I don't mind watching subbed anime, but I feel like there are times that when there's a dub, I can now fully appreciate it and pay attention to what's going on. Yeah, you can just go back.
A lot of the times voice acting was seen as a low-value novelty in the West, so it was usually one of the smallest parts of the budget, and they didn't really care about it being good, just that it was there.
Nowadays, it still is a low part of the budget. That's why the strikes are happening. That's why the strikes are going to be happening at some point, because the very tail ends of the budget were put here. The part that and it's ironic when you think about it. The part of the game that most of the consumers are going to interact with, that they're going to experience, they're not going to look at the code. They're not going to look at at all the nitty-gritty stuff that went into building a game. That's not what the consumer interacts with. The consumer interacts with the controls, how the game plays, the graphics, how it looks, and the characters, how they speak and how they talk. That's what the consumer truly cares about. And yet that was given the least amount of budget, especially in the case of localizations. And it sucks. And it's still the case. You still have the occasional game that it's like it has a shitty localization. And that's what sucks, because there are some games where they have wonderful stories and they have these really incredible moments that one badly picked line, one shoddy performance, for better or for worse, whether it's actually the actor or the directors,
and they
really
emote about as well as I do,
really just kills it. Like infamous scenes like what happened in Mega Man X4 with the "What am I fighting for?" We've seen people redub those scenes. One of the early things I did was a redub of that scene. Is that just a bit of a narmy scene? Yes, but we've seen there fans who have done it better. Because what some people didn't know about X4 was that dub was outsourced.
Also, Devil May Cry comes to mind.
Yeah. The freaking fill your dark sword with lie. Like, yo, I know the actor had to have had better takes. Why did they pick that one? We don't know.
Yeah.
Or Final Fantasy X. I know there had to have been better takes.
Anyway.
But like, you know, it happens. And and then you have games like Kingdom Hearts that their dub is so beloved that
okay, I'll defend the laughing scene.
It's meant to be awkward.
It's supposed to be cringe.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Like, that's another thing a lot of people don't realize. It's like, it's supposed to be cringe, it's supposed to be awkward. But like, again, things start really kind of kicking up, kind of like going into the early 2010s with games like Kingdom Hearts that really kind of raised that bar. The dub for Kingdom Hearts is so fucking beloved that when Final Mix came out, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because this is just what I've heard from multiple places, but again, I could be wrong. When Final Mix came out, there was only dub. The Japanese loved the dub for Kingdom Hearts so fucking much that when Final Mix came out, there was a dub. There was only a dub.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true though. But that was something I heard a lot about when Final Mix was around coming along, is that there was only a dub for it.
Still mad about BlazBlue Central Fiction. Never going to not be mad about it.
And then there were some games that, again, in Japan, there is only a dub. I think Bayonetta and Devil May Cry being one of them. There's no Japanese track for Devil May Cry. You can't, the only Japanese voice for Dante is from the anime, I think. Same thing, I think, with Bayonetta. In her trailers and her anime, that's the only time there's a Japanese voice for Bayonetta. And those games kind of, you know, Devil May Cry 1 still being kind of narmy, but those were the games that raised the bar for, like, hey, like, we should probably take these things a bit more seriously. They kind of mean something. Alright, let's play the game. Let's play the game.
BlazBlue is regarded as having one of, if not the best English dubs in gaming, but only Central Fiction, only the finale of the franchise, is sub-only, and they didn't even tell the actors.
Okay, maybe we should start by telling you about the skill trigger.
I already know about that.
But how could you know? You're just a noob.
No, I'm not.
Why don't we give it a shot?
Okay, come on, Haseo. Let's go fight the monsters.
Don't forget to use the skill trigger, okay?
To be fair, though, if somebody talked to me the way Gaspard is talking to me, I would have fucking blocked them.
This is bad.
Oh, fuck, they saw me.
Hehe.
Like, cause here's the thing, syllabus? Okay, he's obviously not believing me, but at least he's not talking to me like I'm a fucking baby.
That was nothing.
Like, you're only 2 fucking levels above me, asshole. The fuck you talking to me like I'm a little bitch for?
Yes!
It's a ridiculously unbelievable story, so it'd be weird if he bought it.
Oh yeah, no, of course. It's a weird, the idea of like them thinking that Haseo's just role-playing this shit, that's fine. It's Gaspard talking to me like a baby. Where he's just like, no, let's go fight the monsters! Like, bitch, I'm not 5.
Yeah, looks like you can use the skill trigger just fine.
I just can't believe that you're a noob.
I told you,
Okay.
Let's move on.
will you two just listen to me?
And here's that thing too, where I'm just like, okay, let's say we do somewhat buy the story that he's role-playing as the PKK Haseo who, due to a bug, is now level 1.
Sure, dude. You're actually one of the most well-known pro players in this game, and you're vibing around in the newbie zone. Sure, my guy.
Yeah, sure, my guy. This could also be someone on an alt account. Like, maybe this person did used to play the world.
Great performance, but also, sure.
Like, maybe this dude is someone who used to play the world and is just getting back into it, but doesn't mean he doesn't absolutely know what's going on anymore. Or doesn't know what's going on anymore. Steam Switch.
Yeah.
Well, there's several. So that's that thing too where, like, I understand their approach with how they're kind of treating Haseo, but I think with Gaspard, the thing that's getting me so far, and I've only heard shitty things about Gaspard, like, I don't think anyone actually likes
Gaspard
him.
over here like I'm Haseo's Twitter and he ain't say shit, so I'm about your commitment, but like, come on.
Now that you know how to use the skill trigger, let's learn about Rengeki.
I already know about...
Okay, then let's go.
Like, I think they're supposed to be annoying,
I'll tell
though.
you the timing to execute it, so make sure you use
Gaspard is...
Listen to me, damn it.
Don't worry, we're listening, all right.
No, you're not.
Yeah, right.
It's... He's one of those people, you know, he's a person that is just here to vibe and, just, hang out. Not really getting into anything intense, right?
Yeah.
Perfectly fine and completely acceptable. Some, people just play games like this just to chill. Hang out with, like, people they like. Just, not get too intense on anything.
Yeah.
His level of avoidance of anything is on a level that is fucking baffling to me. Like,
Yeah.
there's not wanting to deal with, I don't want to do savage content.
Uh-huh.
Then there's, I don't want to have any form of negative interaction in any conceivable fashion.
Yeah.
And that's Gaspard. He's like, that's what we're dealing with. And I don't know what Gaspard, I don't know how old they are. They're supposed to be and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, it could be like a, I'm not gonna spoil nothing about that, never mind. But you know exactly what I was about to bring up. Because, yeah, who knows? I don't know if it's ever brought up.
I do really enjoy that aspect that there's legit no shot Haseo isn't on Twitter with a following who would have tweeted what the fuck all my shit got hacked. My account's reformatted and the devs aren't responding. This is bullshit, but guess it's back to square one.
Yeah, no, I feel like, again, this is where you have to suspend disbelief. Any popular player of this popular game, or at least well-known player, because I wouldn't say that he's famous, more like he's infamous. Vivi, Haseo, the legendary PKKer. Hi, Vivi, how you doing, honey bun? That's just that thing where it's just like, again, they're like, yeah, we'll buy into your little your little RP. But what's killing me with Gaspard is that they're not even listening. They're not even entertaining. They're not even playing along with the supposed roleplay. I have a way in on this. Oh, baby, you can come right in. I love you when you're here. Freaking, again, Gaspard is not even, like, they're acting like they're entertaining this little RP thing, but they're not. Gaspard is not.
He's being so, he's like condescending about it. Like,
he's very condescending. Hold on, I'm gonna lower the game.
It's like a level beyond condescension.
He's very,
it's just,
very condescending.
Ignoring.
Oh, I know. It's what I mean about it being fun to think about it without the suspense and put it in the context of a real-world setting.
Hi,
It's super funny.
Hello. So here comes the thing, right?
Yeah.
So you have to remember that when this game came out, it was like the early to mid 2000s, right? MMOs were played by, affectionately, I say this as a player of MMOs in the mid 2000s, by weirdos, and they weren't as massively popular as they were now. This was back in the day where you could have legendary players on your server. Go look at Ultima Online for a lot of examples for that.
God.
Exactly. So, like, the thing is, players not only had infamy, but, like, shit like Twitter, and all that didn't exist.
Or
And
they
a
weren't
lot
as
of
well
cases-
used.
Yep. They weren't as well used either. So, like, whenever shit like this would happen, like, if your account got hacked in WoW back in the very early days, that's it. Goodbye. Vas Vidanya. The rollbacks were not that common.
Non-existent.
Yep. And I think, if I recall, .hackgu takes place, I think,
MySpace and MSN Messenger were the operative media forms.
Yeah, this.
Yeah.
GU.
Exactly.
GU, I want to say, at least is what takes place at least in what their world would be the later 2010s to the early 2020s, because again, when it comes to certain technology like this, they want to believe it's a little bit in the future, but not that close in the future. But it's that thing of, again, it's like, and this is also going into just how, like, Japanese society works. Things like Twitter and all that stuff, now they're very well used, but back then it was forums and image boards and things like that. You could go on he could go on a forum and be like, yo, what happened here? My fucking character and blah blah blah. But also remember, Haseo is infamous. There are a lot of people who don't like him. There are people that like him and people that don't like him. Because there are some people that think that what he's doing is something that, you know, the world needs so that people can play it.
Yeah, and he's a Tyler 1 figure.
And then there are people that are like, no, it's people like you that make it worse. This is that kind of thing where in the real world, the world would never have even gotten an R2 after the events or during the events of Sign. As soon as people started freaking falling like flies, these games would be called to be outright banned. Because what the fuck is your game doing to people? What is your weird VR gear doing to people? That
Unlike
this is happening.
Like the actual violent scare of the 2000s, or games carrying people into violent people. It's like, no, this shit's actually making people fall comatose and they ain't waking up.
American Western media would have had a field day with something like this if it was actually fucking happening.
Yeah.
Look how easy they jump on video games over anything. This would have been over. But in this world, the world is like the most popular thing worldwide, and this is happening in it.
Yeah.
And they still have a PK problem.
Right, we need to test this right now. We need to start turning Final Fantasy players comatose. We'll see how long it takes for Square to get fucking bodied.
Like, yo, people will be canceling their subscriptions. Some people, well, yes and no, because I'd say avoid it like the plague, but then the plague actually happened, and you know, that's another conversation. Like
that, I ride or die, I want my mount.
But that's that thing where it's like, again, if like the fact that like PKing is a thing and then PKKing, it's like I feel like a reasonable game company would look at that and be like, hey, we've got a player killer problem. What do we do about this? How do we make it so that people who are new, because again, in the world, in this game, newbies getting hunted down by PKers is common. It's a thing of, that's just the world for ya. But any reasonable game company would be like, how do we solve this problem? This is killing our influx of new players.
Even at the time, the solution there was making PvE servers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at fucking... It's just... Make more... You want the easiest answer is make more safe zones. Add level restrictions. Make it so that there's like high-tier level people can't access public low-level areas.
Yeah, or again, making it a thing where you can choose to allow PvE on yourself. Like maybe, like, you know how like sometimes
WoW made it so you had to request and accept duels.
Exactly, something like that.
Into PvP.
Something
like,
just
Warcraft did that shit with War Mode.
Just something like that could easily fix the PK problem. But the world doesn't do that for some reason. Because right now, in the terms of the plot, that doesn't fix things. That doesn't help it. Yes, Vivi?
Do you know what's something I fucking love?
Hmm?
So, like, I remember being young and, like, making fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love Dot Hack Geo. I just want to mention that. I love the Dot Hack series. But I always like to make fun of the fucking terminology they used. Because, like, who in their right mind would say fucking PKKer?
That's
hey,
where...
I'm gonna hop on, do some stat. Hey, I'm gonna hop on with my static and do some extremes.
God damn it.
They called us out.
But there's the thing. It's like we don't think about using the term PK and PKK, but like that's just the game's lingo. Again, like freaking like I'm gonna go prog uwu is like Final Fantasy shit. Like
I forgot they called it uwu.
I'm gonna go fucking prog uwu to get my ultimate gear, like or some shit. Like what does that fucking mean? You wouldn't know unless you play the game, unless you're part of that, and you're playing with and you're in a setting with characters that are immersed in this game. So, like, again, Haseo didn't know what the fuck a PKer was when he first started the game. And then, as he plays it, he's like, that's a player killer. Going to PK. PKing. That means player killing. And obviously, again, when it comes to the Japanese language, it's, you know, pureya kira. But you can also just remove the English and be like, PKK. And, like, and there you go. I've never heard prog uwu. Hi, Skulkin, first off. But yeah, no,
It's a narrative contrivance. They basically treat the devs like a mysterious absent god in a religious sense.
Yeah.
They see and know but do not interfere, leaving the maintenance of the game entirely to the community to sort out and find a sense of equilibrium bereft of action from on high.
And that's the thing. Player killers were an issue in Sign, too, to the point that you had the Silver Knights. That was... like, they had some communication with the devs and the mod team, but it seemed like anything from them was pretty much non-existent. The players had to kind of figure their shit out. Was that because, again, like you said, the plot contrivance of they just kind of released the game and washed their hands of it? Or is it also trying to kind of give you this
which
second
makes for
life?
Good drama in a story, but it is not how any dev team in a popular property has ever done in any game ever.
Yeah, it's that thing of it in a story setting like this, it makes kind of sense because then it ups the drama, it ups the stakes, and I guess in some ways makes the world more immersive. There is no mod team in real life. You can say it's the cops, but
there's not gonna be someone in a blue and brown robe teleporting you to fucking GM jail and being like, yo, what the fuck you do?
Like, yeah. Like, and here's the thing too, this also sort of criticism can also apply to Sword Art Online, but I don't see it. Freaking Sword Art Online, as soon as that whole first episode happened, this game would have been dead in the water. Cause what you mean these millions of players that just logged in for the first time can't get out of the game and die in real life?
Yeah, we need to assign agency to the player characters, and allow them the means and methods to solve the problem without aid from the mysterious divinity known as the Game Master.
It's where the players makes the world BS come in. Again, that's where you kind of have to suspend your disbelief, because, again, we can rip Dot Hack apart just as much as we can honestly rip Sword Art Online apart. We have even more reasons to rip apart Sword Art Online, because there's a lot wrong with that one.
Oh, Sword Art is way worse.
But we don't want to talk about that, or at least back then when it was all the hype, no one wanted to talk about that. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here being like, I don't really care for Sword Art. I kind of started learning about it once everyone was loving it, and then suddenly there was like the anti-bandwagon, and I was just sitting here like, Dot Hack probably did it better.
It was one of those cases of people really liked the concept and they hadn't seen a anime like that, because things come in waves, right? So like Dot Hack had its moment in the sun, and while I'm not saying, actually I don't know if Dot Hack's still going right now, but like at the time, you know, Dot Hack, it was still going, but like GU had finished up and it was going into a little bit of a lull.
Yeah.
And even then, originally it didn't have this huge wave in America compared to Sword Art
Yeah.
when it did. So it was unique to a lot of people at the time.
Yeah.
And then it kept going, and novelty can only carry you so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
Sword
being
Art.
said, I will say one good thing about Sword Art.
Mm-hmm.
The spin-off of Gun Gale Online with the pink girl with
Oh
the
yeah,
gun.
I've heard Gun Gale.
Fucking amazing.
Like at least the world comes across as a really good game that just has dev and action issues, where Sword Art Online is just a really shitty game with core systems that would struggle to hold a player base large enough to keep the lights on.
Yeah, it's that thing where like again, Sword Art had to have done something right to have gotten to the level of popularity that it did and still to some extent maintains. It also came at the perfect time when again, more dubs were being taken more seriously, anime was becoming more mainstream. Like Dot
The
Hack,
animation for it is pretty good. Like,
The
I'll give it on an
animation, again.
artistical fucking standpoint. It looks good.
Oh yeah, no, again, it looks good. Like it on the technical side of things, it looks good. It came out at a really good time. It was promoted very well. It just it did a lot of things right.
Sword
and
Art
it
is an
got
amazing
lucky.
case study of the value of polish over substance.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. A lot of people like again, like the anime is pretty, it looks good, and the first time watching it around, you suddenly don't think about, wow, some parts of this are very rapey. Until the second time around, and you're like, wow. Asuka gets into a lot of questionable situations with older men. Or why is there so much rape? Why is there so much rape? Why is there?
Okay, so I was like taking care of a problem, and I came back. I took my headset off. I came back and I got asked the question, "Why is there so much
It has
rape?"
great
And I'm just like,
animation,
"What
good
the
art,
fuck is
amazing
going
music,
on?"
and good voice acting. It's just that the writing, characters, plot, and implied game design are all complete garbage.
I can actually answer my own question because apparently it's something that the writer does a lot. It's how they establish that bad guy is bad guy. Or like, or at least, because again, I've heard that like, not even just the original one, but also like some of the light novels in later seasons, that when it comes to establishing that certain characters are bad, the easiest way to do it is to have them assault a female character. Like I think the villain, one of the villains in the Elfheim arc, they want to fuck Asuka. Is that her name, Asuka? It is. Is it? Yeah, I think it's Asuka.
Asuna.
Asuna. Asuna. There we go. It's Asuna. And that's pretty much the main villain of the second half of Sword Art Online, is that he wants her. And
Yeah, it's really creepy. She's like comatose, but then he tries to fuck her.
he's weird. He wants her. He's willing to violate her in front of Kirito, and because she is Kirito's waifu in game and in real lifeu, that gets his power level up to 9,000 to defeat the boss. It's also a power fantasy thing. It's very easy to project into Kirito. It's not as easy to project onto Haseo. Haseo is very angy and edgy, while Kirito is the right amount of edgy and angy, and then we also give him a harem. But I also could be wrong in all of this. Again, I've not consumed anything Sword Art. I just kind of never got into it. Seen a lot of video essays digesting it though, or dissecting it. Blah, blah, blah. What do you think? What do you think, Vivi?
I have a lot of comments on that, but
Go for it,
I don't
please.
have them. I don't have them formulated. Like on the topics of the the sexual assault that's in the series.
Mhm.
Another thing that I have to pull from it, we have to remember that hey, this anime, right?
Yeah.
It's not written by an American. It's written by someone over in Japan. And
Oh, yeah.
It's a really bad habit that amateur writers have, and many continue to use it as they progress. We
Yep.
see rape as one of the worst possible things a person can commit, so it's used as narrative shorthand for bad person and shock value.
100% correct.
It's lazy.
It's both lazy and as well over in, overseas in the East. There's a reason why there's a lot of signs that currently. This is not me trying to state anything about the Japanese people. I'm just stating a issue that currently is ongoing in Japan. Trains. There's a reason why there's a lot of certain signs leading up to trains, right? So it's something that's very prevalent within their cultural zeitgeist.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
So that's another reason why they pulled from there as well. So.
Also, Spitfire, thank you for the follow and welcome to the channel. Oh, no. It's definitely sexual harassment, sexual assault. They're very, very prevalent in Japan. And again, I'm not gonna say that writing those things into a story means bad story. No. Because I'm kind of the belief that one of the great things about fiction is that you can explore these topics and commentate on them even to an extent without actually hurting anybody. If that makes any sense.
No, I can agree with that take. It's just
Everything
how
can be
handled.
done if you give them proper care in your narrative.
Like, I feel like the first time around, I'd be like, yeah.
That's what makes art so fascinating.
Like, I feel like the first time around, again, I could easily be like, you know what? Yeah, that's bad guy. He freaking is trying to cuck Kirito out of his girl. But apparently later on, it's almost constantly used to show that characters are bad. And again, I'm not going to tell anybody how to write their story. It's whatever freaking makes your heart happy. If it gets the job done, do it. I probably wouldn't do it. I feel like, again, like Lynn says, it can be kind of lazy. And as someone who consumes media, if you do the same thing over and over and over again, you start to pick up on it. You start wondering if it's the artist, if it's the writer's, if it's the writer's kind of kink at this point. Like, why does it always come back to
One Punch Man
this?
and Mob Psycho 100 are both incredibly beloved stories written in defiance of the idea that ridiculously overpowered main characters are always bad.
Correct. I will also state that that's exactly hitting the nail on the head. It's both the repeat use and, in my opinion, when it comes to the whole anything can be written if handled with nuance, and I do agree with that statement. But as well, unless you are going to that subject to have a commentary on it and handle it with that nuance,
Then you don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it.
And I get that.
The idea is that these things should serve a purpose to the story.
Correct, and not just be a...
Not everything has to be a conversation.
No, not that. Just not to the opposite end. Not everything has to be just a tool that you use. Like Lynn said, it's a lazy shock value tool, because it is easy. It is very easy to say, they're bad. Why? They do the
And if it doesn't,
assault.
come up with something else that reinforces your message.
Yep. Fun fact, it's just actually very easy. If you spend enough time just giving people, not even bad, they've done bad things, right? Just negative quality traits that we find not annoying, but to be just people that generally are not favorable in society. Look at any school bully that's written, right? For the most part, shit they do is kind of relatively tame. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sit here.
You
and
can
downplay
just
good
make
bullying.
someone kind of bigoted and stubborn about it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Video games. Bard.
Because that's a character journey they can have.
Hold on
Correct.
a minute. I gotta put Bard in proper place. Hello.
I heard V making excuses on why terrible people can be terrible again. So I came in to
No,
smack
we're
the
talking
show.
about writing.
Writing is
character-
just,
character
fictional
writing.
people.
Yeah, character writing, but yeah.
All characters. Listen, if you write a bad person, you are a bad person. And it's Martian. Hi, Martian.
Yeah, hello. They've been chilling around.
Also,
It makes me
hello,
happy.
Burnt Bread. Hello, Lynn. Hello, V.
I gotta freaking
Tomato.
B Bridger's gone the scuffy wuffies. I gotta tell her to stop.
This is why But that's how I know Varendel's a good person, because all the characters they write are only good people.
That is not
like a
fucking
thirsty bitch.
true. Holy shit, that's not fucking true.
Is there something you want to admit?
You haven't played in one of my homebrew campaigns yet.
No, you don't invite me to shit.
I haven't ran a homebrew campaign for anyone in the VTuber circle yet. I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to that tight.
Yeah.
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 The crooked moon, says Martian.
Martian, that wasn't even a homebrew campaign. Martian knows. Look, I'm capable of writing some really fucking good villains, let me tell you.
Okay.
I still
being
vividly remember. I don't want to talk too much about this because I do want to bring this campaign back up on a stream at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I still remember my favorite plot point because there's a character that a lot of players in my IRL campaign hated. Really fucking hated. And the entire time, they were searching for a character who disappeared 200 years ago. Which sounds ridiculous, but it makes sense in the span of, D&D and elves. So anyway, they're trying to find this character. And for them to realize that the character that's been chastising their entire party since level 1 to level 10 was the character they were looking for the entire
They
fucking time.
don't have to, but as a writer, especially a character writer, you want to give yourself potential threads as you develop the actors within your story. Not everyone needs to be redeemed, not everyone needs an arc, but it behooves a writer to consider the capacity for such things to increase the flexibility of the narrative. And this is especially true in free-form narratives like tabletop roleplay.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. We've had times in tabletop games where we've had essentially the antagonist of the week or the antagonist of the arc somehow get redeemed, and then we look at the DM and we're like, why? Why do we have to?
That is not the DM's fault. No,
I know it's not the DM's fault. I know it's not the DM's fault.
You players. Sometimes you just come across a fucking NPC and you're like, we're gonna adopt you, we're gonna fix you. And us as DMs are like, what the fuck are you doing?
Without going into super context, because that we'd be explaining a whole campaign, there was a character from one game, and Anthony will remember it, that was established as a bully and did some
BRB
pretty
food, wireless mode.
And They were established as a bully and did some pretty shitty things. Now, don't get me wrong, where the general campaign environment is set in sort of like an academy, mid-high school kind of thing. So we're dealing with kids. But either way, bully. And above that, there are some characters that are just, doing bad things. Eventually, we learn that this character is doing bad things because, in a nutshell, daddy doesn't pay attention to them. And it kind of felt like, why can't this character just be bad? Why did you have to give them damage? And
so Squeaky, go ahead. No, sorry.
No,
I thought the story ended there.
This was that thing where at the end I looked at it and I was like, no, it's understandable. And at the end of the day, the characters NPCs are just kids. So you kind of can't. It can't just end right there and be the end all be all for this character. But I think it also applied to other characters too, where it was like they had a reason, they had a damage, and then it felt like we had to sympathize with them. I guess maybe the previous character wasn't the best example, but there were characters where it was like, why can't they just be bad? Or another one, there was a character that was a crazy ex, and then as the game kind of goes on, eventually, it's not that they were a crazy ex, they just, had a shard of the MacGuffin in them, and it kind of exacerbated their ambitions, and that's what made them crazy.
Crazy.
Meanwhile, the MacGuffin is known to take a character's ambitions and turn them up to 11. It's not that these ambitions came out of nowhere. They always had the potential to do this. It's just the MacGuffin now is what... The MacGuffin was that push. They were always this bad. You
Power
know?
does not corrupt absolutely. It just reveals who you've always been.
Exactly.
But
We're talking about a kid from 14
I'm
though.
notorious.
Mhm.
I'm notorious for playing evil PCs in D&D games.
I was gonna say you could just cut it off at "you're notorious."
I am notorious. You are true. You are valid. But one that really caused a conversation in my group, because I've played like a necromancer who's trying to protect the kingdom by raising an army of undead and then usurp the throne and become king. You know, like that, good motivation, whatever, what you want. We had in one campaign a Goliath monster slaying Goliath monster slayer who hunted dragons. And a question came up, it's like, okay, does that include Dragonborn? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, interesting. Backstory is that an ancient wyvern, destroyed his entire tribe for getting revenge on killing all of its fucking great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren. And then my character, who at the time died, I was like, you know what? I want to challenge this idea that I want to challenge the Goliath directly. So I walk in with a white dragonborn Diabolist, aka I just summon demons and devils. And the whole point of the character was to befriend him and get to know him and help him find the lost remnants of his tribe, so that I could skin them and turn them into shoes and belts, because he was wearing my family as shoes and belts.
Oh my god.
And everyone's like, whoa, man, that's too far. I'm like, why? What's the difference? Where are we drawing the line here?
It's because they look humanoid. You can't do that to people that look like people.
Then why does he get to kill Dragonborn?
Because they have scales, not skin. Duh.
Can I just say, off topic from all this?
Okay.
I've been staring at Gaspard's fucking face for a while. And man, I forgot how much I both love and hate Gaspard.
Again, because these two don't appear in Roots, and that's where I experienced Haseo for the most part, and then GU the movie, which I don't think they even appear in. My impression of Gaspard right now, and honestly, this whole cycle of conversations, and this is again a staple of my Sunday streams, is that I don't like Gaspard. He doesn't take us seriously, and even if you're under the idea of, oh yeah, you're just really into your weird little role play, entertain it then. Don't act like you're entertaining it. You're being condescending, and frankly, I would have immediately blocked you after the first 2-3 times I told you, are you even listening to me? At that point, I don't know. At this point, Haseo's better than me, because he's just rolling with it at this point.
I have thoughts, but I don't want to spoil things.
Oh no, that's okay. But like, Syllabus right now, okay. He's like, yeah, okay, sure. He's kind of like, he's like, yeah, we'll play along, but like, you're still kind of fresh to this. Gaspard's like, oh yeah, you're totally the legendary Haseo. Totally. This isn't a bit. You're totally not a noob, you noob. Like, no, like, come on. Like, it's just, I don't like him so far. I don't like him. Speaking of, my controller fell asleep again. Because...
Hell yeah.
My controllers fell asleep again.
Is it wrong that when Lynn mentioned earlier that they were going into wireless mode, I just imagined a short little antenna slowly sticking out of Lynn's forehead?
That's fair. Oh, okay, I could have just pressed X and then we could have actually progressed here. So
I also, by the way, I know the true reason why V has never invited me to one of his homebrew games.
Why is that?
Because the first character I proposed to him was a Mercy Domain monk peace cleric.
No, it's because I haven't run a homebrew campaign yet.
No, you're holding secrets from me. You're holding out on me.
Let's go to the Beast Temple.
You're a liar and a scoundrel.
A true angel would never lie, but you're a fallen angel. Thus
you're a lying bitch.
That is racist. How fucking dare?
You make fancy racist comments to me all the time. I don't want to hear shit.
No, I don't.
I love when you two bicker. It's cute.
It is funny.
I went to I don't call this bickering. I call this friendly conversation.
I think it's cute.
A little bit of banter.
A little bit of banter.
We'll tell you all about them, so don't scowl, okay?
Yeah. So, what is this
But yeah,
awakening thing you were talking about?
in the case of the world, I guess trying to go all the way back to like even point one, like if there was a forum or a Twitter-ish equivalent, Haseo would be all over that shit and adding the fucking world devs being like, "Hey yo, what the fuck just happened? I went from 133 from level 133 to level 1. I lost all my shit. And now this freaking twink and fat dog bitch are patronizing me in your game. What
You know
is
what's
I
the
don't
real
stop,
fucky
honestly.
part?
Stop.
The real fucky part is the fact that this is a MMO where the mindset is playing the game and doing like end game content, not at max level, which doesn't exist anymore.
Are we agreeing that Hizio is just Leffen?
Just Leffen? Oh cool, I'm super speed. I'm Sanic now.
Yeah, sure. Go with that.
All right. I still haven't eaten
Just
today.
edgy and angry pro gamer dude.
I'm gonna go eat.
Yeah.
You beans have
Also
a wonderful
back.
time.
And I primarily came in here to bully the shit out of you. And hey, Squeaky.
Huh?
You don't want to know something?
Yeah? Huh? Oh.
What a
Damn it.
fucking goober.
Okay, well I
I
don't
hate
get
that shit.
Well, I'm gonna say goodbye. I hope the three of you have a wonderful day. Take care.
Yeah, you have a good one,
Goodbye.
BB. Thanks for popping in. I'll give them a shout out in just a bit, because there we go, I can do it. Thank you for the head, Gallon Bard. Freaking, we're gonna heckin'... I can spell shout out, I swear.
Can you though?
I can spell. There we go. Give a shout out to both of them and follow those heckin' cuties if you haven't yet. I got 3 GP. Thank you for the bonkin'. For the honkin' bonkin'. Alrighty. I did warm up, so I haven't eaten myself. Like, Vivi, you haven't eaten, I haven't eaten. Let's see.
I just
you haven't
ate.
Eaten, and I haven't eaten, and you haven't eaten.
A steam door is one of the
Who's
traps that are
eating?
found in a dungeon. These doors can be opened by inserting an energy known as Chem Spheres. Chem Spheres can be obtained from mysterious creatures known as Kim Kim. Are they called Chim Chims or Kim Kims?
Kim.
Chim Chims, which are found inside dungeons and root towns. I don't think I have those. Hold on. Can I? Oh! Chim Chim! This is a mysterious animal that resides in the world known as the Chim Chim. Approach it and kick it to acquire an energy known as Chim Spears. 11 Chim. Kick them. Alright, we have 11... We have 11 Chim Spears. Spheres. Ugh. Hopping out? Yeah, no worries. Have a good time, Skulkin. Thanks for being here. Alright, I'm gonna need these. I'm gonna need to kick a lot of these little bastards. Oh boy.
I think even I can win.
So far, the battle system in this game, I'm trying to figure out what it reminds me of.
Tails.
I've never played a Tales game though.
Oh.
Like, I like that you've got like a specific field that you can zoom around in, and that's where it has like the hack and slash element. So it's not turn-based, which honestly, when I think about like an MMO, they kind of can't be. they can't be turn-based because of how like
Not really.
connection and ping. So that's the draw with MMOs, is that's kind of all in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have enough chim spears. Oh, spears. Blah, blah, blah. So let's make our way. We gotta harass some more of them. Oh, did we kick them all?
Yep.
All
You can
right.
hold up to 999 spheres.
Holy moly. Oh, there's the big boy. Gotta get the big boy. It's really fun kicking them.
Yeah, it is.
There we go. That gives us a lot. That gives us quite a bit. Alrighty.
I'll try my best.
But yeah, there was also the previous conversation of like the fact that Ovan has known Shino IRL, and that's a pre-established thing that you get in Roots. And yeah, I don't blame him for not telling Haseo, even if there was no actual like hidden thing with Ovan, because we know something's up with Ovan. Is even for how young as Haseo is, he's established to be obsessed with Shino. I wouldn't particularly want him near my young female friend as well. But Ovan is also an adult, and Shino and Haseo are teenagers, and depending on the age difference, that could also be seen as kind of weird. Like, they met in the world and then met IRL, and that's something where that can be considered a red flag on Ovan's part. Item boxes. Target the item box and press A. Breakable objects. This is an item box that has different design depending on the area. Treasure chests primarily contain accessories. Trap boxes look very similar. Saving the trap within the time limit will allow you to acquire the weapon or armor item within it. Alright, well first off, simple necklace. Fairy's orb. Push the buttons on screen. X, 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 X. Fuck. Okay, I did it wrong.
No item.
It was like XXBAA. Like,
yep.
I was previously playing on a Switch controller, so my buttons are still a little fucky in me, like remembering what I'm holding.
Okay.
Naturally, in this game, it's going to assume Hizio is totally reasonable and the good boy obsessed with justice and Shannon hero power, and Oven is just a mysterious shady adult who represents the secret truths hidden away but those damn grown-ups.
Yeah, those damn grown-ups not telling us anything. Wanting us to find out the truth for ourselves. But that's
It'll
that
be
thing.
a learning experience.
But yeah, that's that thing of like, hey Ovan, how old are you? Why are you hanging out with kids in an online game? Most people, well, not most, but some people would look at that and kind of raise an eyebrow. But also, it's an MMO. Like, it's got all sorts of people. Lynn talked to a 75-year-old lady on 14 the other day.
What's that? Some kind
Adorable.
of event monster or something?
It's the screen name of a PK.
It's the Ovon's 25, Shino 20, Haseo 17, 18.
Never heard of him.
Me neither.
I thought Haseo was a little bit younger. Again, I thought Shino was also a little bit younger. I thought Shino was around Haseo's age. Again, what I'm trying to say is I thought the age difference, at least with Ovan, was a bit bigger. Where some people would scratch their head, but it's generally harmless. Generally. Key word.
This is a statue of Folset, the god of law in the world's backstory. But We just call it the Beast statue.
But if we put it in a real-world context, it'd be like, yeah, no, Hizio is super obsessed with this girl and has a level of devotion that would be considered quite problematic, and it would be assumed Oven is probably an uncle or family friend.
Mm-hmm. Brave bracelet.
Hey, little Haseo. Been a while, huh?
They're from Kestrel.
Huh? What? Hey, who are these guys?
Famous player killers.
What the? Not now.
Well, well. Looks like you haven't been keeping up since the last time we met. It took me a little while to recognize that you were really the terror of death.
What? He's real?
You're really the terror of death?
How amazing.
Who is like, okay kid, I get it, but you're way too hung up on my niece and I don't feel comfortable with you knowing where she is.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, right, moron. Give me a break. Someone sent me an anonymous email. So I decided to come and have some fun. Now, what should we play? Well, for starters, how about I love you to death?
I don't really know what's going on. But please, no violence.
Gaspard.
He got in my way.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. Rip. Yep, rip.
Oh, hell. What is this? Just what the hell is going on here? What's happening?
Haseo! Run!
Are you scared? Man, I just love that expression, you know what I mean? God, there is nothing like PK.
But yeah, the lady I did dungeons with yesterday was super sweet, and honestly, goals. Still a gamer blasting mobs and helping others clear content at 74.
Mm-hmm. Like, not every... Well, hold on, cutscene. I like these. It's pie!
You guys look like you're having fun.
Who the hell are you? You want to be killed too?
Are you sure you want to do that? The guild that you PKers hate the most might be heading this way as we speak.
Moontree? I can't believe it. You tipped them off, you bitch!
Maybe I did.
Hey! What are we gonna do?
Fighting them now is only gonna bring more problems. You!
Why?
I won't forget this.
It's just another guild. Just kill them. Pie's older brother made that model.
Don't you realize that I just saved you?
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for saving us.
You're Haseo.
I don't recall telling anyone like you my name.
You're an unruly child, just like I heard you were.
What are you, a groupie?
Nice try, but I'm not interested in brats.
Well, I'm glad. Because I don't have any interest in old hags.
Okay, another context thing, I would be judging someone with that character model so hard.
Yeah.
Child.
Damn brat. I'll have
Someone
you
like
know
Pie?
You're...
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll come back another time.
As you wish.
I probably wouldn't wear that outfit, but her hairstyle is really
Just give
cute.
you one warning. Haseo, your character hides something. There is a dangerous power inside you.
Dangerous power?
Have you ever had the feeling like there
It's
was
a game,
something strange
so you have
growing
to keep
inside
in
your
mind that
character?
every aspect of that design was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
as if it is trying to get out. Well, anyway.
That's that thing of in an actual MMO, I'd be like, oh, this bitch kinky. She likes to ERP.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you see the characters in 14 that only wear like the 2B leggings and like the taffeta shawl. If they're not wearing a frog helmet, they're usually an ERP.
Wow.
This girl is either a freak or 12.
Really get all of that, but basically, your character has some really
Someone in puberty just realizing what horny means.
What? Really?
Yep.
Well then you should go and tell CC Corporation all about it, and have them recreate your character for you.
It's not normal to go from level 133 to level 1 so suddenly.
Yeah, I know. You're right. It's definitely
And I would honestly be taken aback when a female voice came out of that model.
Oh yeah.
I guess you could say my enemy's not normal either.
Old hag, she's 24. Yeah, but at the same time, Dragon, again, you also have to consider this game is set in Japan. If you're still in your
because
teens,
this has man's fetishized dream girl written all over it.
That sounds pretty serious to me. Oh well. Anyway, good luck.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's like,
Come to think of it,
hold on.
didn't that lady say that she had already called the Moon Tree Guild?
Also after this cutscene, I want to grab some food so I can have something to eat at least to satiate me till we have dinner later.
She lied?
No, not a lie exactly. That old hag just never said she had actually called them.
A bluff, huh? She's quite the strategist. What's wrong?
What are we doing wasting our time? I mean, what if those player killers come back here?
Yeah, good point. Let's hurry back to town.
How'd I get an S on treasure boxes open when I failed one? Okay. Also, again, going back to the old hag 24 thing. Now, again, in Japan, especially around this time, to be around your late 20s, early 30s, it's not considered old, but the younger crowd, who is usually a little bit more cruder and ruder, a good way to get on their skin is to say basan, which means auntie, which is usually not a term you would use for someone in their late 20s, early 30s. That's looking at late 30s, early 40s to call someone basan. And it's considered an insult. But there's also the thing where it's like, and again, it's kind of a thing now. It's more prevalent with idols, where once you reach 25 to 30, you're considered old. You're considered undesirable. You're considered, if you haven't gotten married and had kids, you're considered spoiled goods. So again, the easiest way to insult a woman, especially one that you know is older than you in some way, shape, or form, is to address her as if she was an old lady. Oh boy, idol culture, that's a rabbit hole. Yeah, we won't go into that.
It's also part of the same vernacular you see in stuff targeted towards middle and high schoolers, like how in Persona they constantly say, those rotten adults.
Yeah.
It's cringe and dumb but somehow just became a trope.
Yeah, it's very common in media that's its target audience is the same age as their protagonist. Now, Dot Hack is targeted towards mostly teens and younger adults, but again, its main demographic is teens. People still around that age of like, man, fucking adults with their getting in the way of things and having concern for our safety. Fuck them, am I right? I'm gonna grab a bowl of rice real quick. I'm gonna be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Adults and their insistence that I'm too hot-headed and reckless to be trusted with the responsibilities of life and independence. God, that makes me so mad. I just want to violently outburst and do something reckless and stupid, that'll show them.
Yep.
All right. I don't know if butter chicken sauce and barbecue sauce go on rice. But maybe, well, I don't know. Maybe I just discovered something great.
Hey, I doubt it.
How? It's not bad. The butter chicken and the smokiness of the barbecue sauce kind of go well together. This is more of a hickory smoked barbecue sauce than anything like outwardly barbecuey.
I mean, barbecued chicken rice is good.
Yeah. Again, it's just butter chicken
So
sauce.
we're just adding butter chicken.
Yeah. Well, this is just plain rice. This is just rice. Like, I made a bit too much rice yesterday. I didn't get to eat any because I wasn't really hungry for it. So.
Yeah, I assumed.
Also, hi, Mithril. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Rice takes well to most any sauce.
There are just times where I'm like, I kind of want to change up what I have with my rice. And this is a spicier butter chicken sauce than normal. So I didn't want to use too much. And that's where I was like, well, I still want something saucy. I still want some flavor. And that's where I put in the barbecue sauce. And I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty good. There's a part of me that wants to like take rice and like cook it in like a roast beef bouillon to have like a beefy rice. That sounds good. But I would also rather do it with quinoa or couscous because they're lower carb. But either way, my food preferences aside.
Hey. Why don't you have Moontree protect you?
Yeah, that's right. You've got those really strong-looking PKers after you.
Moontree is a guild that supports the abolishment of PKs.
And part of their mandate includes helping PK victims out.
Moontree, huh? Oh, them. You want me to beg those hard-headed dorks to protect me? Forget about it. I'd rather be PK'd than be protected by all those lecturing loudmouths. Seriously, who makes a charity group in a game?
Oh.
Haseo.
What's wrong?
How long have you been standing there? What? You got a problem?
Yep, that's a teenager for you.
Look, Haseo, you don't understand anything about Moontree, okay? We're just trying to make the world a more enjoyable place. We just want to reach an understanding with everyone. I mean, doesn't everyone feel like being nice to someone
Okay,
sometimes?
girl, try emotion.
We want to protect those feelings. We want to be able to protect those feelings. But everyone likes to make fun of us, saying we're just some charity group or some cult. We just want to improve together with everyone else. We are not here to lecture anyone. Do you get it? Do you understand? Do you, Haseo?
No, see again, once the model starts equaling
There we
the...
go.
Exactly.
Yep.
So here, take my email address. Now here's the thing. Because I agree with you, Lynn. I think her early lines, they should have made her emote more because her model was flipping out.
Yep.
What they were trying to do, though, was build up, where she's talking to him. Why don't you understand? We just want people to... We at Moontree just want players to get along and understand one another. And then as she's trying to explain to him, she's getting more and more irritated because this probably isn't the first time she's heard things like this. But they had her model flipping out from the first moment. And because of that, it makes the delivery seem shoddy. Realistically, building up is how that would go. Escalating is how that would go. Where she's like, it's just like, we're just trying to help everybody. That's why we have our guild.
Also, Hesio is anti-union. Bad look, my dude.
It's just like, we just want people to understand us. We just want to help people. Why don't you guys fucking get it? Like, that's escalation. That's build up. But the game has her flipping out from the start. Now, because we don't have the Japanese dub, I don't know how the Japanese one performed it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit different. I wouldn't be surprised if it's different. Because in this case, when it comes to the Japanese version, the audio is usually always recorded before the final thing, or they're given storyboards where she's yelling at him, she's flipping out at him. Where in this one, they're like, having her flip out at Haseo from the get-go is a really good way to make sure that you do not like her the moment she gets on screen. Because she overheard your conversation, which was none of her fucking business, and then she starts yelling at you. Which again, that's not what Adelie would do. It's just in this case, she just kind of lost it near the end because, well, he's saying mean things about her friends, mean things about her group. We don't know anything about Adelie yet or why she's even in this group in the first place. But, you know, she was trying to talk to him and then she just kind of lost it. So, but again, that sort of thing isn't portrayed properly because the direction went one way and the game is doing another thing. This is one of those things where I feel like either way you lose.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know if that little bit of animation was
the
in
notable
the
thing
original.
here is that she seemed to think they had a moment before, and literally the next time they meet she overhears him shitting on her and her guild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, their first instance, she was like, hey, he's still talking to you. Why are you being rude? And then again, this new instance, he's shit-talking them. But again, this is probably not the first time she's heard people shit-talking Moontree. It's just, in this case, it's like, I guess she just didn't need to hear it. We don't know. It's hard to say.
Totally reasonable response to be like, wow, this guy is a two-faced piece of shit, and you know what? I have words.
Yeah. But yeah, I love Adelie. But I've only experienced her in the manga and the GU movie. But most people don't like Adelie. So we'll see if that changes as I actually play the game. I love Adelie though. To me, she is my favorite character. I love her. Because as someone who plays games to just kind of enjoy them, to experience the story, to even make friends, I relate to why Adelie plays these games. So, but we'll go more into her as again, I only know so much.
I'm going to do everything within my power to explain Moontree to you. I want you to better understand who we really are.
Wait, don't I get a say in this? Hey.
No, shut up.
So, how did you even recognize me anyway? I mean, I don't look anything like I used to before.
Yes, you do.
No, you still do.
You got the same face.
It's true that I didn't recognize you at first, but soon after that, I realized it was you.
You changed your glam, but that's it.
So I had to get going now, but I'll tell you a lot more about
She's cute.
Was she a member of Moontree? That's great! If you're friends with a Moontree member, the PKers are bound to leave you alone.
Man. Even though she's
What
got
part
the
of that
same
looked
face
like they
and
were
everything,
friends?
she's definitely not Shino.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing.
Well, that was all really interesting. Okay, we're gonna head for another area. How about you, Haseo?
No,
Okay, got it. Well, if you need anything, just call us.
We'll help you out.
See ya.
Smiley face.
This guy just watched a woman scream at him for openly insulting everything she stood for, and he's like, oh, they must be friends.
I'm so beat.
Y'all fucking?
And what about that woman? And the dangerous power she talked about? I'll log out and check my email or something.
Friends seems like a stretch. Select log out from the main menu while in town to leave the world and return to the desktop. It can only be performed while in town. To log back in, select the world from the desktop. Low-key, I just snarfed that bowl of rice and I want another one.
Snarf.
Snarf. Alright, what about you? Kiosk. I don't have nearly... Caramel sauce. Wait. But yeah, also a thing in, like, the world, it's like when you think of... When you think of the people that play this game, like, again, you have, trying to remember, like, .x sign. You had Sora, who was, like, just a little twerp who eventually became Haseo. BT, what did BT do? I can't remember if BT did anything. I think was Bear a teacher?
Oh.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
Because, like, everyone had, like, you know, an IRL thing that they did. I think Mimiru was just a high school girl. BT also had, like, the fucking running gag of every time Sora
BT
met...
worked for Dispatch.
Yeah. And there was always the running gag with BT that every time freaking Sora found her, he would like, oh, cool, nice spending time with you, BT, and then fucking killed her. And then Krim.
And I believe she used to be a model.
Yeah. Yeah, Krim is a businessman, is usually always in the office, and frequently sent on business trips to places around the world, but likely in his late 20s to early 30s. And again, it's that thing to show that, like, everyone in the world kind of comes from somewhere and does something. Again, Mimiru, I think, was just a high school girl, which is why she was the way she was. Yeah, high
I still
schooler.
love that BT is named after her favorite sandwich.
Yep. And then, where's Bear?
That's so dumb but legit how some people name their tunes.
Yeah, no, legit. Some people, that's all it takes. Offline? Offline, okay, yeah. Offline Bear is a famous author and novelist. Yeah. Yeah, Bear was the one that I think, aside from Tsukasa, had kind of like the saddest offline story. So he's a famous author and novelist, the author of an acclaimed novel, Onwin, and in his mid-40s. Divorced from his wife, he is constantly pestered by his adult son in the world with demands for money, demands he usually gives into. And then at the end of Sign, he becomes Tsukasa's legal guardian and is using his money to support her as she attends boarding school. Something which, in the real world, would never happen. How do you know this random adult man? I met him in an online game. Can he be my legal guardian now? So that I can escape my abusive father. In the real world, that shit would never fly. Tsukasa would either be put in the foster system or given to another relative. They would never be given a rando they met on the internet, no matter how famous of an author he is, would never be given legal guardianship of a child they met online. Never. But again, you have to kind of suspend your disbelief here. When it came to all the characters in Sign, Bear was the only one that seemed to be a reasonable adult.
Yep.
So when you were like, someone's gotta get Tsukasa, it only made sense that it'd be Bear. Because not only did Bear kind of almost feel responsible for Tsukasa because of how their own child turned out, but then again, it's just like, this is a child who is in a horrible situation and needs to get out of it. And no adult seems to be able to or want to help them. I'm the only adult in their life that can maybe do something. And that's why they established, again, that he's a famous author with a lot of money. But that would never fly in the real world. I'm getting another bowl of rice. I'm so hungry. It's activated my hunger. There we go. There's not that much rice left, so the second bowl's a lot smaller. But I think I also relate to Adelie because I feel like I was also and continue to be that annoying online.
Totes.
I think I'm still that annoying online, where I'm just like, why can't people just be fucking friends with one another? I love her so much. Log out.
He.
Important mails. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but again, I love this aspect of like checking your email and looking into the computer. Because this is generally set in kind of like a world like ours, where this kind of stuff isn't supposed to happen in the game. So I kind of like when it's the real world, but there's something more. Alrighty. So, from syllabus. To say, would you like to try taking on a quest with us? You may already know this, but quests are part-time jobs for players. Basically, there are people in the world who have problems, and we help them out. Thanks for adventuring together with me. I never thought
I really liked the way the original slew of games tried to preserve the offline experience through things like this.
Yeah. Thought you were the real Terror of Death. I heard a lot about you. This is the 4th time I've been targeted by PKers. I'm just glad I didn't actually die this time. Raffle. Also, I like how they, like, again, even when they were in the cutscenes, like, using, like, emotes in the cutscene dialogue.
Yeah.
Even if there's voice chat, it's still funny to think that maybe they're even typing it out sometimes. What are you gonna do now? It must be really tough having to start from scratch again. Oh yeah, you can reply. What are you gonna do now? Leveling up. I'm gonna level up, otherwise I can't walk around the world without feeling inadequate.
So these really help with relationship.
Oh, of course.
Holy whoa.
I remember playing a game like this as well. I can't remember exactly the name. So you're really the Terror of Death? I was so surprised. I wonder how many times I've been PK'd by now. Lol, apparently Beast Race characters are really easy targets. Sometimes something like, I don't feel bad about killing it because it's just a dumb animal.
So yeah, that's the thing that's happening in the world.
Yeah, racism. If there's anything Syllabus or I can do can help, just let us know. Not really. I don't have any business with you. I'm just not replying. Remember
Look at this guy being open and honest about how he's leveling up to assuage his own overwhelming sense of insecurity.
I would send the Gaspard the other option.
What's that? This is basically a repeat of what we went over before, but don't forget. Your character hides a very dangerous power, and we were the only ones who are capable of controlling that power. Who are you? Do you not get how cryptic that sounds? If you find anything about Tri-Edge, let me know. I don't think, yeah, I couldn't reply to Ovan. Yeah, I couldn't reply to Ovan. He's blocked me. Invite Gaspard and me. I'll be happy to help you out. Alright, and we've got Adelie. Loves small birds. Enjoys chatting with Moontree members. Nice to meet you. Want a new cell phone, a G Power 9 graphics card, and advanced M2D.
Small
I got your
birds,
back.
you say?
Yep. And Gaspard, favorite thing, napping. Favorite food, paella. Hey, avocado natto, haseo, play with me.
Right. If you were a useful classic, think about it.
Again, I really love Adelie. She's so fucking cute. Just look at her. Again, she has like a very... Harvest Clerics are already really cute and totally my fucking vibe. But then you have to look at her color palette. It has the green, which is generally a pretty inviting color without being too offensive to the eyes. It's not...
Okay, just saying, if someone put their status message to a "Hey Lynn, play with me," I'd be like, okay,
Absolutely
so
not.
that's a no.
That's weird. Like, nothing about Gaspard makes me want to play with them. Especially when you consider the first experience with them. Like, nah, I don't think I want to play with you.
Trust me, it doesn't improve very much.
If someone else is leading the party and they invite you, I will begrudgingly play with you. I ain't inviting you to any parties I fucking lead.
I will suffer your presence if needed.
Exactly. I will professionally suffer your presence. Syllabus? He seems fine so far. He's not as bad as Gaspard. He's just kind of also wanting to help people out. He seems like he's willing to listen, but easily swayed by the majority. Or if it's you versus someone he knows, he'll side with the person he knows. He gives benefit of the doubt, but he doesn't really act on it. Which, at that point, you might as well not even give it. Adelie, I love her.
Like if Squeaky sent that message, it would be funny, but Gaspard just met us and is already directly calling us out to cloy for our attention.
Yeah, it's not even... Here's the thing. This isn't even, like, a message. This is, like, his profile description.
Exactly.
I'd
That's
play
what I mean.
Dancer if Adept Rogue isn't literally the most overpowered class. Also, hi Mahala Mirage. And that's not because Haseo is one. It legit is overpowered if you can just put effort into it. But yeah, I was going to talk about Adelie's design and her color palette. Obviously, Harvest Cleric, before the colors come into play, it's already just a nice, very cute, very gentle looking class. And they're the healers. So, of course, there you go. That's just that healer vibe. Hi, Ryfan. Thanks for being here. But then you look at her color palette. Now, when you think of red, you think of loud, you think of powerful, you think of maybe even arrogant. It's used for those sorts of characters. Blue, it tends to be used for more colder, aloof, more reserved characters. Yellow is usually kind of a bit of a free agent. It doesn't really give much of people of an impression, although it is a very sunny, happy color, and that helps to kind of give an idea of the kind of disposition a character can have. Unless
man,
you mix
don't know
it.
how right on this color theory you want to cover that.
How right or how wrong?
How right.
Whereas, again, depending on what colors you mix with yellow, that's when you can start twisting the messages. If you start putting in grays and blacks and general darker, more muted colors with yellow, that yellow can then start giving the impression of maybe that sunny disposition, carefree attitude that the character might have is hiding something. And that's where the blacks and the grays come into play. Specifically grays.
I find it amusing how her design exudes innocence and serenity, then girl has that lace garter belt on display.
But that's the thing, and we can talk about those bits of black, because again, I was about to say, when you start mixing darker colors in with these lighter ones with things like yellow, that's when you start having that little aspect of mystery, that little bit of a hint that maybe there's something that's not being quite, that's not as obviously on the surface as you would think. That thing that you have to look a little bit more into, you have to look a little bit more deeply in to see. Characters that have yellow but mostly are taken over by darker palettes tend to have that. The happiness is usually a front to cover something more. With green, you're mixing the cool, the cool kind of latent tones of blue with a bit of a sunny disposition. Green gives you the idea of nature, of nurturing. It's a comforting color without being almost cold as blue would be. It's a natural color that occurs. And again, it gives a peaceful, gentle vibe. Going into darker, more depending on the color you lean more into, if you're leaning more towards blue or more towards yellow, that can connotate some different things. But right now, with this kind of nice nature, almost just leaf green, it again gives a gentle, nurturing nature, someone who you can feel like they want to take care of you, someone they want to help you. Green is an inviting color. Green is a color that kind of gives security, that gives familiarity. Green is a color you can trust for the most part.
Remember, it's not a creative.
Yeah. When it comes to white is pretty simple. It's pure, it's innocent, it's well-meaning.
In other cultures, it means dead as doornails.
In other cultures, it does kind of signify a bit of like, there's an undertone of death, everything going to white, everything being washed away. So there are those negative connotations. It really depends on the context in which you're using white. I do know quite a bit about Adelie, so I also know why that other definition of white works well with her. But when you think about how she portrays herself, how naive she can be, white is very, very fitting. And then again, you have those little bits of black. And black, not only does it help balance things out, not only does it help your eye travel around places, but again, why is she like this? Why, there's a reason she has to be the way she is. Now, she can just be a really good girl, and Adelie is. But again, they don't litter some of these darker colors for no reason. Everything kind of has there's a choice behind things like this. When you think of like when
the tone of death in white is mostly a reference to spiritual purity. To die is to return to the source and achieve the height of purity found in nothingness.
I'd say white means you're wise, but that might be me. Wisdom, colors that help portray wisdom are usually the cooler colors, yes. But you're more so looking at your blues and maybe lighter purples.
Wisdom is usually associated with blue.
Yeah. It's usually blues and purples that are associated with wisdom. Whereas...
And lavenders yet.
Yeah, and whereas yellows and greens and maybe even some oranges, although more so yellows and greens, are usually for happy nature, nurture, gentleness. And then you have your red and your orange to kind of mean fiery and energy and power. So honestly, this is, I want to say it's basic color theory and character design when it comes to like building and creating your characters. I know some people just like to slap on colors because they like certain colors more than others, but when it comes to certain things like this, usually color has purpose, especially when you consider the plot point that Adelie reminds him of Shino. It's just by appearance, but my memory of Shino is that she is a lot more washed out. She's got blacks and whites and grays, with the exception of in the anime, I think her hair is pink, but in the game, her hair is white. And I think her eyes are pink. And that's that thing of Shino, while she is nice and she is kind and she is caring, she's a little bit jaded. Purple, in my opinion, is often associated with refinement alongside the blue connotations, often used to either tall, imposing, or politically powerful characters, people pretending to be fancy, are... Oh yeah, no, purples in general, that's more your more saturated, bolder purples that
Deep
are...
purples signify royalty.
Yeah, royalty, refinement, wealth, and power in the charismatic political sense. Red is for power in the physical, more brutish sense. Purple is power in the political, communication, social sense. But blues and lighter purples that lean more towards blue than red, that's where you're going into the knowledge, the wisdom, the aloofness. Like Kabuki, where red represents the hero and blue represents the villain. Kind of. Largely due to large swaths of history,
Red
purple
is
dye
also
expensive.
passion.
Yes, red is also passion. Yeah, and again, Hollow Mirage, yes, purple, the color purple was a status symbol, which is why, again, we associate the color purple with these sorts of things. But again, another thing that was related to refinement was wealth, having a lot of money. And because you have a lot of money, you have access to knowledge, which then would give you access to with the power to sway people, to be charismatic, to be politically affluent. It's never just purple mean rich. Why does it mean rich? What does it mean to be considered rich? And the associations that come then back to this color. Again,
gold also represents wealth and if often used as an accent color to denote affluence.
Again, it's also going back to, again, if we go back to green again, naturing, nurturing, the idea of Mother Nature, a figure who in most contexts that imply a mother of nature is usually clad in green. And is usually, again, a matron, gentle, nurturing. So, like, again, it's like, it's never, you can narrow it down into just simple words and put it in a box. But there's
covered
usually...
in green and warm colors in the form of flowers.
There's usually a little bit more to it. You just gotta give it a sec. Again, going back to the little bits of black, it doesn't litter Adelie, but it not only balances her character, but again, with the lace, the fact that it's her lace that is specifically black, because again, it's not just the colors. What is the thing that is a color? And in the case of Adelie, it's, again, her lace. Something Lynn pointed out earlier, her garter belts. Garter belts are usually kind of an adultish thing, a bit of a sexual thing, but it's normally considered an adultish thing. And if we stick to that adultish thing and then twist that knob a little bit and go into more mature, maybe darker things, maybe there's a bit of a darkness somewhere with Adelie. Something that she's not quite concealing it, but it's not in your face either. She's not decked in lace or decked in black.
There's also the design aspect that she has this very pure and reserved look, but is trimmed in black lace, which represents domineering sexuality.
Or budding domineering sexuality, and that there's not a lot of it. But someone that's coming into her own or starting to approach adulthood. But then again, you also then look at her stance. She's got her hands behind her back. She's a little bit closed off. She's, you know, even got her arm that's holding her staff. It's kind of tucked in there. She's got one leg that's kind of back as if she's kind of like stepping back while still being in a general relaxed pose. She's kind of closed off. She's kind of shy. Her head is down to denote maybe a lack of self-confidence. Kind of still, again, coming up upon her own, still learning. There is so much that you can just pick up on a character by just looking at them. Her stance, her face, her colors. So I kind of get it now. So if you look at
that being said, you have to be pretty careful with a lot of female character designs, because, unfortunately, a lot of fetishistic elements in female designs are just there for the sake of the male gaze, and have nothing at all to do with the character's personality.
Oh yeah, sometimes people just put lace on their characters because they want to put lace on their characters. Like, they could have also just chosen lace because they thought it would have...
full of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, they could have just put lace on her character because they thought it would have been a nice touch, especially in contrast to the little white ruffles on her pants. To the white ballooniness of her hat. Which, again, that ballooniness, those puffy pants and those ruffles, that roundness gives an air of youth.
Yep.
So again, the round puffiness of her hat and her pantaloons, giving that youthfulness, and then in contrast with that lace that, you know, kind of is a little bit adult. That gives you an impression of this girl is someone who is not quite a child anymore, but maybe yet not quite an adult. And then again, Adelie is around the same age as Haseo. She's a teenager to a late teen to young adult. But I've been talking about Adelie's design for way too long. Again, I think about when I make my characters, I think about a lot of shit. Sometimes I do just slap something on just because I think it looks cool. But then, as I'm still formulating the character, I look at the elements that I've thrown on the table first and been like, where can I fit this and why is it there? I think way too much when I make my characters. And usually, for all intents and purposes, everything that is on a character, the colors that are on a character, I usually want them there for a reason. I have thought about why they are there.
I kind of obsess over design and then get upset with myself for not having a larger understanding of fashion to go even more ham with it.
I love fashion. I love looking at clothes and like figuring out how to like MacGyver them. And I wish I could look at fashion and stuff more and do better studies. But I love looking at designs like this. Again, if we look at syllabus, back, without going too into everything we talked about with Adelie, just to touch on some points. Again, green, it's a nurturing, it's an inviting color. He's a character that wants to help out newbie people. With brown, brown, like the earth, kind of denotes a sense of groundedness. So again, he's a very down-to-earth, a generally pretty grounded individual, maybe even a little basic. But kind of just here, wants to help you. A guy you can just kind of sit and start a conversation with, even if you don't know him. Like, if I was at the bus station, I would look at this guy and be like, man, today, huh? And like, maybe just shoot the shit while we're waiting for the bus. And, you know, a little bit of that white there, but more of a creamy white that, you know, he's...
Guy looks like a preppy adventurer who's a bit vain and self-aggrandizing.
Yeah,
The funny thing is, he's not like that at all.
Well, I don't know about that part. Again, I look at him and I see a pretty grounded, welcoming individual that just wants to help people. That little bit of white, a little bit of naivete, a little bit of wanting to give people the benefit of the doubt. But again, it's not quite yet white because he's kind of he kind of is a little bit skeptical on who he gives people that benefit of the doubt. The only bold colors he has is like that little bit of like weird blue in between like the belts on his shoes, but he doesn't really have any color that truly pops on him. Everything is kind of a pretty subdued color. It doesn't truly go there. But that's the impression he gives me. He's gonna kind of be generally a chill guy. His pose, again, you look at like how his face is tilted. He's got the hand on his hip, so he's got a little bit of confidence in himself, but he's generally just kind of pretty laid back. Gaspard, there's a bit of red on him, so there's a little bit of arrogance to him, which equates, the way that how he was condescending to Aseo. But he's normally, again, you look at the orange, so you have a bit of that like power, a little bit of a sunnier disposition.
The colors in him mostly portray him as a normie. He's just some guy, but his upper and lower body have different styles to them, from preppy and refined up top to rustic and baggy down low.
Gaspard, again, he's mostly pinks and peaches with like bits of like black and white, and I think the black and white in here are kind of just to balance it out. But this is another one where he's generally inviting, generally nice, but you might butt heads with him a little bit. You and him might come to a disagreement here and there. The blue is also kind of to denote that he kind of knows what's going on. He's not stupid, but again, he's not aloof. He's going to be pretty emotive. He's gonna, probably shout and be loud a lot.
Gaspard looks like a nice guy, and I mean a nice guy in quotes.
Yeah, he looks like a nice guy. Let's see. I specifically also have that sort of subconscious feeling. For example, my D&D character, despite his love for purple, because it matches his drow skin and fits with him being a well-dressed bard, he does not wear gold because he's actually quite self-depreciating and not at all haughty. So all the metals on his body are silver, a sense of refinement but not going over the top with it. Oh yeah, no. Being able to wear gold takes a lot of confidence. Whether it looks good on you or not, it takes a lot of confidence to really go and wear something gold. It's very easy to wear gold and look trashy and look freaking corny. Silver is usually, again, a pretty safe bet because, yes, while silver can be a sign of refinement because it is an expensive metal, it's not in your face. And then rose gold, again, has that refinement, but it's more warm and gentle. Gold is like, brr, it's in your face. But that like, and there are some people who might not have the confidence to wear gold, might instead use yellow, because yellow, again, can still kind of give you that impression while not truly committing to it. There's a song, there's a line in an old Hilary Duff song that it says, you always dress in yellow when you wanna dress in gold. Never doing what you want, you only do what you're told, or something like that. Hold on, how did that line go? I just remember you always dress in yellow when you want to dress in gold. It's called Why Not? Hilary Duff. Yeah, you always dress in yellow when you want to dress in gold. Instead of listening to your heart, you do just what you're told. Like, that's when I think about characters that never quite commit to the bit to wearing gold and instead have yellow because they have those parts of themselves that they're not fully in confidence in themselves, I think about that line. But yeah, it's like, you don't want to commit. You don't want to, you're too scared to wear gold because gold is a commitment. But yeah, that was a little rambling with color theory and design
And
study.
that's not because he's heavy, but he has this very warm and inviting color scheme, but there's this dual purpose in his design, like it's intentionally designed to be cute, but the burnt orange, blacks, and red are more bold and strong.
Let's see, free streaming. Alerts. Don't worry about that. What's this?
So the cute aspect of his character seems cloying and intentional.
The cute aspect of his character to kind of get his foot in the door, and then you start actually interacting with him and you're like, man, I hate this guy. I don't like this guy. Let's see, community forum. Existence of the PK system. Yeah, this is a lot that I'm just not gonna look at because it's a lot of... You have to actually... I don't think any of this is required. The community forum and stuff. Of the creative and comfortable lifestyle for everyone. News capture, mail system, the world. But yeah, that's just a little bit of a... rambling a lot about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, log in. We'll probably go for maybe another half hour to an hour before I have to consider ending stream so that we can go and get dinner. Which, honestly, we've been going for 3 hours. We've been doing pretty well. About memoirs. Memoir records your past actions and contains clues to your next objective. Select memoir from the main menu when you are unsure or unclear about your next objective. I like how it also... So far, the game is kind of treating it as if, again, you are someone that is playing an online game that's got some weird fucky shit going on. Well, I know about the characters in this game, so I personally doubt Gaspard was doing anything intentionally considering who he is. I see it more as trying to be both inviting and cool and ending up with a very goofy appearance. Again, and that's kind of Gaspard. That's kind of Gaspard so far. He wants to be kind of cool and inviting. He wants to be inviting and nurturing, which is why he only has red in some parts of his design, but still want to seem as cool and someone that you kind of have to take with some modicum of seriousness, which is why instead of devoting to just red, he instead takes orange and then maybe some more peachy pinks. Pinks that lean more towards red than like the purplish. You know? I hope that makes sense.
I think so. I don't think about colors or anything when I go into just thinking of characters like that.
Huh, second, some people don't, and that's fine. Let's see. Crown Quest, Dr. Kubo, Text of Wisdom. Suggested PC level 5. I want someone to get the Chim Crown for me.
It's a pretentious artist thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely me and to an extent Lynn, me and Lynn being snobby artists. Yeah, I get to adventure with a sale. I'll be right there. Wait for me. I don't expect anyone to think about things to my level. Some people can just slap together a character design and it just be the way it is. Whether or not it's a good or a bad character design is up to one's own perspective. But all I'll say about that is that there's a reason why it's a very weird insult that I've seen with certain character designs where it's just like, yo, this character looks like a fucking VTuber.
Mostly it's about vibes and what things give us those vibes.
Mm-hmm. So be taking this quest, please. Wait just a moment. We have some adventures who've accepted the My name is Kubo, Dr. Kubo, that is. My research relates to Chim Chims. What? What kind of research? Well, no, that's a secret. I can't tell you that. Anyway, I want you to achieve the Chim Crown for me. Have you ever met King Chim Chim? He is a giant Chim Chim that rarely appears. As his name implies, he has a magnificent crown on his head. I want that crown. I have a few ideas on where King Chim Chim is likely to show up. I want you to go there and get the Chim Crown. I prepared plenty of rewards for you, so do your best. Alrighty.
It's pretty difficult to kick the king.
King Chim Chim? Isn't that the huge one?
Because even if you don't sit around and meditate on it, you do have internal biases on what sort of things certain colors make you think of, and this also applies to shapes, sounds, styles of dress, architecture, everything.
Yeah. There are times where it might seem like I just slap things together, but sometimes you never know. You could be doing it subconsciously. That's kind of the incredible thing about it. How people design characters, the designs they gravitate towards, can tell you a lot about somebody.
And they aren't the same for every person, as they have different impressions for the same things given their own experiences.
Yeah. Really interesting. Really cool.
But there are widespread commonalities.
I guess we should start looking for places where King Chim Chim could be hiding.
King Chim Chim attacks by jumping on you, so watch out.
I wonder where he is.
Yeah, you might gravitate towards...
Given many of us are given those impressions from the same styles of media in the modern day.
There are certain types of, like, you know, character designs that people just gravitate towards because they find those things attractive. I was, funny enough, talking with someone earlier. I was talking with I was hanging out with Sky a little bit earlier, and near the end of it, we were talking about Dot Hack, because I was talking about how I was gonna play Dot Hack, and he remembered what he remembered about Dot Hack's sign, even though he didn't remember the character's name. He was like, I remember this from when I was like just reaching puberty. And I saw Mimiru and I was like, huh, I kind of liked that. And then he thought back of when he was watching Tenchi Muyo and how he liked the character Mihoshi. And then he was like, I kind of like that. Later on, Outlaw Star, he liked Aisha Clan. Kind of like that. And we started...
The most common one being how everyone knows red and black means bad, while blue and gold means gold. That's completely arbitrary, but was largely instilled by incredibly popular media, particularly Disney.
He pointed out, he was like, younger me kind of leaned towards a little bit melanated skin, so kind of tannish, olive, olive complexioned characters with lighter hair. He kind of gravitated towards that. And then I pointed out, and then you became that. You're a slightly melanated goat dragon boy with white hair. And he started laughing. He was like, huh. And it's like, yeah, it's their character traits that as you were growing up, you were like, I really like that. And then next thing you know, your character, your how you portray yourself online, your VTuber, has those bits of the characters that you used to like, that you kind of the types of character designs you gravitated towards. Kind of funny how that happens, but it does.
So talk to us about why you're sexually attracted to skeletons.
Obviously that's not the meaning, but like it can be something just like that. I used to like characters that did this, now I like that. Like,
No, let him answer.
I'm getting nervous.
Mwah.
Like, again, when I was younger, one of my favorite characters was Sesshomaru. I love characters with long flowing hair. I love characters that have a bit of a cold, aloof disposition to them. I joke that I like big brother characters, but especially in anime, older brother characters usually have these sorts of dispositions. And usually when you have in fantasy worlds, when you have that long-haired, aloof, cold character, they're usually magical. Because magic also is a bit of a connotation of wisdom, of power in the more blue side of things. And there we go, me liking long-haired, fluffy magic men. Like, there you go. Like, it kind of happens. Have I even created characters that are like that?
Aloofness is also associated with mysteriousness, which is also associated with magic.
Uh-huh. And again, it's like, have I created characters that are kind of, you know, aloof, long-haired, fluffy magic men? Yes. Hadar is literally one of them. Hadar is one of them. Hadar and Vega are the two personifications of the type of older brother characters that I love. Or I love the arrogant, kind of, you know, loudmouth, dumbass sort of aspect to the older brother, which is done sometimes, but not all the time. And then the cold, aloof, magic, cold older brother. Okay, I've got enough chimps. But yeah, like, and the way I even dressed them connotates that. Vega has reds in his palette and warmer colors, while Hadar has blues and colder colors. When it came to their horns, I even thought about what I was like about them. Now, Deco took those aspects and added even more to it when he made Hadar, when he wrote Hadar and Vega's characters. But like, I gave, when I gave Vega his bigger, you know, more curled ram horns, I kind of wanted to give the idea of somewhat of a brute. Someone who just rams his head into things and asks questions later. Whereas, with Hadar, he has these horns that jut out more in that he just keeps people away. He would rather not let anybody come close. Both kind of closed off in their own ways, but with Vega, I thought more about, again, being brutish, being kind of dumb. And with Hadar, how he's more solitary and less trusting of people initially. I cannot remember many of them, but I can definitely say Raven and Risky Boots definitely did the purple thing, but like, I'm trying to think where I fell in love with the Musketeer appearance. You never know. Again, it's like, it can be hard to pinpoint until you really start thinking about it. And it's okay. There's no right or wrong way to like characters. I know that there are people who are generally really sweet who will love horrible villain characters. Like, I knew someone that was a really sweet person. Her favorite character was fucking Ryunosuke from Fate Zero. Like an actual like child murderer. And and it's like, yeah, maybe there's something here. And maybe she just liked darker, edgier characters. Or maybe she just liked the characters that kind of let themselves become psychotic because, you know, maybe she wishes she could go apeshit. I don't fucking know. But she just likes characters that aren't afraid to be psychotic and in a way be completely
Then you have
and wholly
complete
themselves.
cinnamon roll prudish nuns who are down bad for werewolves.
Yeah. Do you mean me? Do you mean me?
Hi.
Okay, you mean me. I just had to make sure. So that's how Earthflame the Half-Drow Sword Bard. They be waving red flags, but red is perhaps her favorite color? Yeah. You never know. you know? But yeah, it's like sometimes people just like those characters, but at the same time, you know, maybe there's a little more there.
Yeah.
Because again, what the appeal of psychotic characters is that they're characters that are just unabashedly and unfiltered themselves. Yeah, in the real world, they are mentally sick and need to be arrested and get fucking help and removed from society immediately. But this is fiction. This character is solely and wholly themselves and does not give a fuck who cares or who doesn't. And some people might really like that trait. Not that they're psychotic, but that they're true to themselves. That might be people who wish that they could be that way. And that's why people might like those sorts of characters.
Who are all about consent and emotional attachment, but then are like, man, it would be hot for a large powerful monster to just hold me down with nothing in its mind but the raw bestial desire to breed.
You were real quiet there for
I'm
a second,
being
Suki.
fucking called out. Being called out.
You look like a thirsty bitch.
No, because Lynn knows why I like werewolves. Lynn knows why I kind of see the appeal in monster fucking. While I don't think I would fuck every monster, I see the appeal in werewolves. It took me a bit until specifically Big B Wolf, but I can see the appeal in werewolves. I can see why people look at that and be like, oh, okay.
Fucking Big B. Of
Yes.
all goddamn things.
Yes, Big B Wolf. It was Big B
Wow.
Wolf that awakened the werewolf fucker in me.
Fantastic.
It was Big B Wolf.
Or like Big D.
And not even his like weird halfy fur man wolf, like halfy werewolf form, and not even the big wolf form, because his true form is just a huge giant wolf. And
He's literally a big wolf.
And I'm not really a fan of his wolfman look either. There was just something about Big B that rugged, that just to the point, blunt, fuck you, just raw energy that Big B had. And then just the fact that he was just a beast, and that I was like, yo.
Yo, wait
And
a
then-
minute.
But
Hold on here.
but then he had that sweetness, that loyalty to Snow White, that bit of tameness that I was like, oh.
My favorite thing about Big B's whole story is that in the old country, he literally was the biggest fucking scary thing. Period. He was the big bad one.
I think what awakened the
In
desire.
the comics, all you see is like, at least internally on some situation of, he's just fucking sad and alone, and he doesn't want to be that anymore, and he hates that people are just default like pissed scared of him.
Yeah. And
He
that's
just
kind
wants
of
French. He just wants people who like care.
yeah, and that's why, like, again, unless you choose to play him like an asshole in the game, you can
It's understandable
be
from the
nice.
stance of a fantasy though, since in a fantasy you know you're safe and it's the best possible version of this circumstance that we all recognize in reality would be horrific and give you a lifetime of trauma.
Oh yeah. I think that what awakened the desire for a monster girl MILF was that one character from Inuyasha who pretended to be Inuyasha but actually ended up caring for him. The Unmother. That's called the Unmother.
That's a fucked up name for something.
It's because she could never be a mother. She could only ever play at being a mother. But but the thing is that her playing at being a mother, her mothering over something, ended up killing it. So she would always unmother herself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of literal. But yeah, no, what I liked about Big B Wolf is that he had that sort of sassy bestialness to him, but still had that warmth and that bit of domesticness, almost a want to be domestic, because again, he loves Snow White. He is willing to be kind to Snow White. Snow White makes him want to be a better person. That's that tameness. That's that domesticness. But he does have instances where he flies off the handle, and that's where the beastie comes out, and it's like, oh. Oh.
Being a kind person in Wolf Among Us is my favorite reaction, which is almost every character's reaction is, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, no. When
What happened to the big bad wolf? Who the fuck is this?
But that also again plays with the fact that idea that Bigby doesn't want to be the big bad wolf. Like, you can choose to play him as an asshole because but the thing is though, it's like that comes with its repercussions. People don't take Snow White seriously. People don't take any authority seriously when the cop, who's also the big bad wolf, is an asshole. But if you try to be nice, if you try to listen to the other fairy tales and actually try to resolve things and with like some sort of respect and decorum, they're like, wait, who the fuck are you? And some people, because of it, even give him a chance.
Like, look at Woody, the woodsman. Do you know that in that fucking game, that if you're always on his side and you treat him right, that ending is just pure, wholesome, real friendship starts to bloom.
Yeah,
like a real friendship comes out of that.
And which is great too, because the woodsman and the wolf are always considered to be oppositions for one another. Like, but it's that thing of like, it's that thing of too, with the fairy tales story, is that they're more than just their fairy tales. They're people. But yeah, it's really cool. We have to kick this thing.
Haseo, King Chim Chim will show up if you kick the Nue.
What? So, we just need to kick it.
This is a mysterious animal known as a lucky animal that lives in the area. Approach it and kick it to receive various blessings. However, there are unlucky animals that also bring bad luck. They have an angry symbol on top of their heads.
The voices for these animals are always dumb as shit.
Received a blessing. Summon King Chim Chim.
Kick the shit out of that thing.
This is King Chim Chim. If you kick King Chim Chim, he will get angry and attack you. Repeatedly kick him and evade his attacks to defeat him. If you do, you'll receive massive amounts of Chim Spheres.
About time. Let's get it over with.
Yeah, no, I really love The Wolf Among Us. Like, man, I can't wait for the sequel. I'm so excited about that. You're gonna have to kick him like 3 or 4 times.
There we go. There's something on the ground. The Chim Crown.
Congratulations, that can just spawn in the world now. Whenever you find chim spots.
Yeah.
We need to go to the quest shop.
I really don't care for Asea's starter form.
I like it.
I like the other ones more.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of like with things like an L sword. Their base designs are basic, but when you look at how cool they turn out later, it's like, yeah, that makes you want to work for it. That's just basic MMO shit.
Yeah. It also just looks stupid.
I think it looks. It's a lot of belts, but I think it's cool. Chim Crown. Surprised you were able to receive it so quickly. How would you feel about doing some more work on the side? There's something I want you to help me with. My home is in the mercenary district. It doesn't matter when, but please come visit. We'll discuss the details when you do. Farewell. Alrighty.
It's literally across the way from. I think it's literally across the way from the guild.
Oh, probably.
Door. I think, if I remember where it is.
Crown Quest. You have new mail. Warp point. Oh yeah, you can go to.
And so I learned the other day that fucking Steven Russell is going to be the voice of the main character from this game I like to play. Because I'm getting a new voice actor for him. The Blood West game. I'm sitting here like, fucking yes.
Okay, awesome. I stepped away for a bit, so I heard you played Elsword.
I played it a little bit. So here's something really cool. Here's a little fun fact.
Which character?
Rena. Because back then there was only the 3 characters.
I knew it.
Honestly, a lot of the characters don't. Most of them. I tried playing Elsword. It was okay. Like none of the characters really stood out to me very much.
Here's the thing. Back then, I'm just gonna log out from the world because I can go into one more tangent and then we have to call stream, and I don't want to get stuck in a part. I'm down for one more tangent because it's Elsword. So here's the thing with Elsword. When I first started playing it, there was only the 3 characters: Elsword, Aisha, and Rena. So I chose Rena because she was cute. Now, one of the reasons I couldn't really get into Elsword, or that made Elsword hard to play, was because
Elsword is basic as heck, Aisha is cute but super clunky, and Rena is great.
Yeah. What made Elsword hard for me to play was because I was on Skype a lot. And Elsword was a game that did not like when you had other applications up at the time. The time I played Elsword was when a company
that was so obnoxious.
Was when a company called Killer Combo owned it. I don't know who owns Elsword now, but the first time it came to the West, it was by a company called Killer Combo. I don't know if anyone
Hey,
if that
better than Nexon NA.
I don't know. Well, Killer Combo doesn't own it anymore. They lost it eventually, and now it's owned by someone else. But Killer Combo had them. So anyone who remembers Killer Combo might remember this, but I don't know. A while back, when Elsword had just recently came to the West, they had a VO contest where you would open one of
the Nexon version was garbage, so everyone just played on private servers.
Yeah. So
sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. So Elsword had a VCV contest, which is just, voice character video or something like that. And they had this contest where they would give you a scene, like one of the very early scenes in Elsword that had all 3 characters. And the contest was dub it. Just dub the scene and have fun with it, because the point was just a community thing to have fun. I first learned about this contest when a friend approached me saying that they needed someone to play Rena because they were playing Aisha and their partner at the time was playing Elsword. And I agreed to do it. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was dating Logan at the time. I was with Logan at the time, and I brought it up with him. And he was like, this sounds pretty cool. Let's do it. We won. We won the fuck out of it. Again,
hell yeah.
Because it was such a small kind of community thing, the first grand prize was a physical 9 gig USB that you would like twist open and it had Killer Combo on it. I still have that USB. I still have it.
Nice.
I don't remember specifically where, but I have it. I think I know where, but I have that USB. That was given as given to the first prize winners of that VCV contest. Where I also played Aisha and Rena while Logan played Elsword. Now here's the thing. Killer Combo was still very, very small at the time. And they were just localizers in that they were translating the game and kind of hosting the servers and stuff. But because Logan was a bit more arrogant and cocky at the time, because, we're young, he decided to approach them with the idea of dubbing the game.
Sounds like fun.
And Killer Combo bit. They were down. So they sent Logan a script to make an English localized trailer promoting Elsword. And Logan recorded it, and it was posted on the Killer Combo's YouTube channel. It's gone now. Because it got so much fucking hate from the community.
Wow.
Because people you know, thought that they're gonna dub the game and then they're gonna get rid of the Korean voice track. That people saw that they were gonna people were like, they're gonna dub the game and they're gonna ruin it. So it got so much fucking hate. I think back then the 5-star system was still a thing, so people downvoted the shit out of it. And what sucks is that around the time when Logan finished recording for that L-Sword video and it was posted, I was given the next script because I was gonna voice Aisha. I had recorded, I don't know if I still have it, it's probably in my old emails somewhere, but I feel like I don't have it anymore. But I was given a script for Aisha, and I recorded for Aisha. They even showed me like the video that they would put and like things like that. And we were essentially going to be, at least in the case for those trailers, if not a dub, the official English voices of L-Sword and Aisha. And Logan was going to take it upon himself to essentially, if they did choose to do a dub thing, cast it. Again, kind of crazy for how young we were at the time, but still really crazy to think about. Because Killer Combo themselves were a very small company. And it was like, what? Not only like freaking further localize the game by giving it an official dub track. And I think we were also offering it for either very, very cheap or free. Well, it was said anywhere. Was it said anywhere that they will replace the original VO or you can swap it? None of that was ever talked about. The whole idea of a dub was only something that was being talked about in emails. In the trailer, it was just that. It was just an English trailer for L-Sword that instead of using the Korean track and Korean voiceover, because I think it was essentially dubbing the original trailer for L-Sword, where instead of it being a Korean track with subtitles, it was just an English voice, and it was going to further promote L-Sword. But it got so much fucking flack because the community was like, they're going to dub and ruin the game. And because of all the backlash it got, Killer Combo
Obviously
never
not.
got...
The community was just extremely reactionary and saw dub and was like, no fuck you, you'll take our Korean VO from our cold dead hands.
And because of that, Killer Combo never got back to us anymore. I sent them the stuff for Aisha and told them, let me know if you need any more. Mwah, hi Din. Let me know if you need any retakes of lines, any help, or let, you know, so-and-so know about anything. And Logan kept a generally pretty okay correspondence with them. And then we just never heard from them again. And then a couple years later, we learned that they just lost it. I don't know what happened after that, but I know that, you know, we only played a little bit of L-Sword because it was so fucking annoying that I either had to have the game up or Skype up. I couldn't have both. And that made it really, really unfriendly to play with friends. So because that hurdle was very annoying, we just stopped playing it. I would have loved to have kept playing it because I thought it was kind of fun. And later on, the characters I see, they look so fucking good. But, like, I couldn't play it. I couldn't play it and be on Skype at the same time.
Which they were never going to do, but the community decided they would and just launched a giant hate campaign from an imagined circumstance.
Yeah.
It happened all the time in the otaku community to literally any localization attempts.
It really did. Hold on. L-Sword. I almost want a VOV entry.
But nah, I loved L-Sword, and I was one of the top PvP players.
Now here's the thing. The very first video, the one that my friend approached me and asked me to be Rena for, that is still up on YouTube. The only reason the one that I did alongside Logan doesn't exist anymore was because that was on, I think, an old Semi-Soma or his very first The Azure Crow account that got fucking nuked by YouTube because it was, because of like Gurren Lagann the Satire. So I'm gonna link it to I'm gonna link it in stream chat, in actual stream chat, in live chat. and I'm going to stick it in our little stream chat with me and Lynn and all of them. Because I know now that I found it, Lynn's like, I need to hear 12-year baby squeaky performance. I think I have this on a playlist somewhere. But yeah, I played Rena in that a long time ago. Hi, Tia, how we doing? We're going to be wrapping up pretty soon. I just wanted to get into a tangent about how
I got S rank on a level 50 Grandmaster when the level cap was 80, which meant I had to absolutely body whoever I was fighting in order to win, like 10 hits to their 1.
Yeah, heck. No worries, Tia. This is the waking hours usually for you. But yeah, no, were we going to actually be the official English dub for Elsword? I don't know. But I do know that Killer Combo was interested in making English language trailers to help promote the game. But the fan backlash was so bad that they just kind of went completely cold turkey on us and just stopped replying to us. And it really makes me sad too, because I remember I was so excited and I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, did I just fucking just find like my breakthrough? Even if it was something just a trailer, this really cool thing.
I'm not sure if I could handle being friends with Aisha's official VA.
Like, I remember I told my friend, because I think I was like 16 or like 17 or 18. I told my friend and she took me out for sushi because she thought it was so fucking cool. Because I was constantly telling her about how I wanted to be a voice actress. And then this suddenly just came out of nowhere. And it was like, oh my god, you're gonna be a voice in a game most likely. If not, at least for that game's trailer.
You'd be quoting all her lines to me just to trigger me about how much of a pain in the ass fighting Dimensional Witch was.
And here's the thing too, it was most likely that I was going to be Rena's as well, because we didn't have anybody in mind, but they wanted to make trailers for Elsword, Rena, and Aisha, and they really liked the voice that I used for Rena and Aisha. Now for Aisha, I just did my normal high-pitched voice, and I was just really, really sassy and kind of just like, I can't believe this. A little kid is talking to me this way? And then with Rena, I just kind of went a little bit more warm and soft. Kind of like with Adelie, that warm, nurturing, kind of naive, inviting, that kind of sort of thing. But obviously I was a lot worse back then. And so to some capacity, the fact that I would have been the official English voice of Aisha and Rena was just insane to me. And then I never got it because weeb culture is fucking shit.
It's insane to me.
Weeb culture's toxic as hell.
What did you say?
Culture's pretty bad.
What did you say, Lynn? Because I talked over you. What did you say?
It's insane to me too.
Yeah. I don't know if like Logan remembers this time, because again, it was 12 years ago.
I played the heck out of Rena, loved Grand Archer.
Yeah, I really wanted to play Elsword and play Rena because I looked at her and I was like, she's so fucking cute. I want to play her and I want to get like the one with the really long pretty dress, which I think was Grand Archer. And I wanted to be on Skype.
Yes.
And like were we that good back then that we could be considered?
Stream idea. We can find a private server probably.
Like, we're like, when I think back, were we honestly good enough to be the official English voice of anything? No, I don't think so. But man, was 18-year-old me so fucking happy that I could have been a part of something like that. That was just insane. And I know I still have that Killer Combo USB somewhere. I know I have it, and I held on to it because even if it's just a 9 GB USB, which doesn't mean shit now, it was still something so fucking cool to have, and the story behind it of how me and Logan almost officially were voice actors for Elsword. Like, insane. Absolutely insane. Huh?
What an interesting time might that be.
Oh, this would be such... I mean, I don't think I would have super gotten anywhere that far. Well, it probably would have been a really cool credit to have on a resume. But, like, would it have changed things? I don't know. but it was still something really fucking cool. It's insane to me how people in the United States see dubs in a really bad light, even though the quality of dubs has improved substantially. Because there are people who have digged their heels so far in that they're already up to their knees and they cannot dig themselves out. And okay, you know what? Fine. But no, the quality of dubs have increased exponentially since way back when. There are some dubs back then that are pretty fucking solid dubs for their time that people just don't want to give the time or credit to, and honestly, you're missing out. There are some dubs where people are like, no, yo, if you're gonna watch this anime, you better watch it in the dub. Panty and Stocking, you better watch that shit in the dub. What the fuck is wrong with you watching it in sub?
That's made for a dub, though.
That doesn't matter.
No, I'm saying that's made for, like, I can't imagine listening to that in Japanese or
Here's the thing, when I originally watched Panty and Stocking, I watched it in sub, and don't get me wrong, the sub's good too, but again, like you said, it was kind of made for dub, and that and just what it was trying to do. But like there are other anime out there that it's just like, no, the dub just feels more right. I just can't think of another example off the top of my head.
Panty and Stocking reminds me of, like, Powerpuff Girls meets Ren and Stimpy.
That's pretty much what it is. I'm trying to remember again, like, what anime that it's like.
You never watched Black Lagoon, but Black Lagoon had one of the best dubs of all time.
Yeah, Black Lagoon. Tristan freaking loves Black Lagoon's dub because he was taught by the lead voice actress.
That has nothing to do with that. It's actually just a good dub.
I mean, but I
wasn't taught by them, but me being taught by them does not. Like,
I'm not saying that as a bias.
Yeah, no, I'm just making sure.
I'm not using that as a bias.
Okay. The way you said it sounded a lot like a bias.
No,
so
I'm just saying. Jester really likes the dub of Black Lagoon and was also taught by the lead actress.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, like, no, that's nothing. No.
No, I was just making sure.
Another really good dub was the dub for Wolf's Rain. That's a very good dub. Some people say Trigun's dub is a very good dub.
Yes, that one is.
Like, those are those shows that they're like, nah, you gotta watch it dubbed.
Can I say Outlaw Star? I want to say Outlaw Star.
Outlaw Star is good. I think the dub is really... There are lots of shows back then that had really fucking solid dubs. But, you know, people just want to shit on dubs sometimes. And I guess that's okay. Whatever helps you fucking feel better at night. But, like, at the end of the day, localizations are good because it makes things accessible to people. And if you don't want more people to enjoy the thing, then you honestly can't complain when your thing crashes and burns and fades into obscurity. Oh man, why does this thing I like not get more attention? I don't know, because you gatekeep it behind something as stupid about that as like whining about localization. Food for thought, I guess.
It does remind me of another thing. It reminds me when Rick and Morty was a very niche show, and there were people complaining that, oh, why don't more people know about this? And then more people knew about it, and then they started becoming gatekeeping about that. Oh,
yeah.
Well, you don't really know. You weren't here from the beginning. Like, who cares? Who cares?
Like, cool. Oh, sorry about the microphone. Like, hey, cool. Like, you were here before it became popular. Are you better than me now? Fuck you. Like,
weeps were and are their own worst enemy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is why I chose to play Dot Hack turn Recode into my new Sunday stream game, because I can just go on tangent after tangent after tangent about these sorts of things. And maybe sometimes you learn a little bit of squeaky lore too. I'm not sure how many people knew about the whole L sword thing. But I wouldn't have gotten I wouldn't have gotten into that conversation if I wasn't playing this, and the idea of, again, playing MMOs and localizations and things like that. That's why I love playing these sorts of games on stream and just being able to talk about them. But we are getting close to 4 o'clock, which means it's time for me to consider rating out to somebody. And
they don't want their favorite things to be popular. If they were popular, they'd be accused of having mainstream taste, which was an insult for some reason.
Holy moly. It's because it's the first session of the second campaign of 5 Darts. I was like, wow, freaking 113 people over at Deco's channel. Hell yeah. Let's see. 1 second.
Wow, that's almost as many as Joe Cat.
Oh wow, really? Holy moly.
Yeah, Joe Cat's running 183 right now.
Oh wow. Oh, he's playing Baldur's Gate. Yeah. Wow. How long ago did they start? They started, okay, they've been going for about an hour and a half. Yeah, wow. I'm just kind of looking at the chat and seeing how many people we got here. We got the it seems like we've got mostly people just chilling out. Their chat doesn't seem super active, but I guess again, it's people wanting to learn about everything. It's kind of people getting their bearings again. Hell yeah. Alrighty, well, I was gonna raid into Deco, because they usually always raid into us. But I think we're gonna kind of just chill vibe it up. And I think, because I don't know if anybody's actually down to listen to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tabletop RPG. It's up to you guys. Do you guys want me to throw you over at Deco for some homebrew tabletop Yu-Gi-Oh! RPG? It's up to you guys. If not, I'm gonna probably pass you guys over to Alexa Lap. I haven't rated them in a good little bit. Who is currently working on some seasonal art. They are currently getting better from a cold, but I think I'm gonna throw you over there. So we're just gonna go. One moment, actually. Yeah, okay. Just had to double check to make sure. Alright, we will throw you over to Alexa Lap. I will be back here tomorrow a little bit earlier than today for some more Tears of the Kingdom. Hopefully before Zelda RP on Monday night. And I hope to see you guys there. I'm sorry that I didn't stream on Saturday, but we will be coming back to whatever we're going to be replacing Code Vein with. I will see you all then, though. And I hope everybody has a wonderful night. And for any Canadians in the audience...
Else word totally.
And for any Canadians or people who are celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much or you'll get a tummy ache, okay? Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.